years since he ran away. Guess that guitar player sure could play. She always liked to sing along. She's always ended with a song. And one night in the lobby, yeah, of the Commodore Hotel, I chanced to meet a bartender who said he knew her well. And as he handed me a drink, he began to hum a song. And all the boys at the bar began to sing along. If you be my Dixie chicken, I'll be your Tennessee lamb. Young can walk together down in Dixieland. Down in Dixieland. Well, the night that I got into town was the night that the rain it froze on the ground. Down the street I heard such a solemn tune coming from the place they call a Spanish Moon. Stepped inside and stood by the door while a dark-eyed girl sang and played the guitar. There was hookers and hustlers, they filled up the room. I heard about this place they call it Spanish Moon. It's whiskey and bad cocaine and poison get you just the same. And if that don't kill you soon, the women will down in the Spanish Moon. Well, I pawned my watch and I sold my ring just to hear that girl say, yeah. I don't care who you can wake up ruin. You can lose it all down in the Spanish Moon. And it's whiskey and bad cocaine and poison get you just the same. And if that don't kill you soon, the women will down in the Spanish Moon.
Everything is really getting more expensive.
The average grocery bill is now at its prices are up, but not at Metro. We've lowered prices. One line of unlimited 5G, now $40, period. And a free 5G phone. Only at Metro.
When we come to the table, it's what we all bring that matters. San Pellegrino, bring your best.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. I done said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line. I've been on the right trip, but it must have used the wrong call. Headed in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. My head is in a bad place, but I'm having such a good time. I've been running, trying to keep tongue up in my mind. Just got to give myself a good talking to this time. Just need a little brain salad surgery.
Oh, I hate that.
Got to
It's fucking sickening.
Insecurity. I've been in the wrong place.
Fucking Christ.
I've been in the right time. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong song. I've been in the right vein, but it seems like the wrong on. I've been in the right word, but it seems like the wrong. Slipping, diving, sneaking, peeping, hiding out down the street. See my life shaking with every who I meet. Roots like confusion as I'm making itself clear. Wonder which way I go, get on out of here. Cause I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. And I done said the right thing, but it must have been the wrong line. I took the right road, but it must have took the wrong train. I took the right move, but I made it at the wrong time. I've been in the right train, but I made it in the wrong call. Here's in a good place, and I wonder what I
Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play Store. Choose rumble.com today. Sponsored by Rumble.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in America because energy tax credits create jobs and put America first.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. President Trump, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Learn more at builtforamerica.us. Paid for by Built for America. Clarity and context for a complex world.
I'm going to be far more thorough and specific than ever before.
News Talk 105.9. Making sense of the news.
You want to grow your business. I mean, who doesn't? Constant Contact's marketing platform makes marketing way easier and way more effective, even if you know nothing about marketing. You can easily create email, text, social, events, and digital campaigns in just a few clicks. It's why over 500,000 business owners trust Constant Contact for their digital marketing needs. Constant Contact, helping the small stand tall. Get 25% off all plans for the first 3 months when you go to ConstantContact.com and use code LISTEN25 at checkout. ConstantContact.com with code LISTEN25.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciated.
News Talk 105.9.
I really like how people block me and then they want to talk to me. Dumb fucker.
Cumulus Media Station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6. I'm Heather Curtis. The Supreme Court hands the Trump administration a legal victory in its mass deportation efforts.
Justices are lifting a lower court order that blocked the Trump administration from sending migrants to South Sudan who were not from that country. Attorneys representing migrants from places like Vietnam and Burma challenged those deportations to a third-party country. Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented with the majority decision. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
President Trump condemning Iran's missile attack on a U.S. base in Qatar today and calling it a, quote, very weak response, unquote, to his weekend strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Fox's Rich Edson with more on the president's Truth Social post.
There have been 14 missiles fired. 13 were knocked down. One was set free because it was headed in a non-threatening direction. I am pleased to report that no Americans were harmed and hardly any damage was done. Most importantly, they've gotten it all out of their system, and there will hopefully be no further hate. I want to thank Iran for giving us early notice, which made it possible for no lives to be lost and nobody to be injured. Perhaps Iran can now proceed to peace and harmony in the region, and I will enthusiastically encourage Israel to do the same, with President indicating in that.
And here in Washington, the mayor is reassuring residents on edge after the attacks.
We don't have any specific threats to the district.
Though Mayor Muriel Bowser points out,
we are the nation's capital, and we stand at a heightened state of awareness.
Explaining,
we continue to be briefed by federal partners, and the chief continues to be briefed by federal law enforcement.
Again, no specific threat, she says. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Earlier today, President Trump warning on Truth Social for everyone to keep oil prices down, saying raising them is playing right into the enemy's hands. He then called on the Department of Energy to drill, baby, drill. Secretary of Energy, Chris Wright, says they're on it. So how is the attack impacting gas prices now?
Oil prices spiked last night only to fall again this morning.
Some holes in the Swiss cheese, if you will. Iran may not be able to close the Strait of Hormuz as it might want to suggest it may.
Analyst Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy says China would have a real problem if Hormuz did close. It's Iran's biggest oil customer. So while gas prices are rising,
the national average up about 8 cents a gallon.
DeHaan does not see a doomsday $4 gas price coming this summer.
I think we'll see a slow, steady increase,
starting with another nickel or dime bump from the current 318 mark in the coming week. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Checking your money, the Dow closed up 374 points, the NASDAQ up 183. Traffic and weather next.
Today, we helped a small business take care of their employees in a big way. We're the Hartford, and whether your client's business has 10 employees or 10,000, the Hartford offers big employee benefits, from life insurance to disability, accident insurance, and more. We'll help you deliver a standout benefits package, because big or small, your customer's business is just the right size for us. Learn more at thehartford.com.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflush.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflush.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflush.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflush.com.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In Virginia, watch out for accident activity right now in Woodbridge on Dale Boulevard at Kingsman Road, and another accident on Dale Boulevard at Cherrydale Drive, so use caution there as well. In Great Falls, there is a crash on westbound 7 at the Fairfax County Parkway, and in Woodbridge, another accident now being reported on 123 near Riverview Lane. In Oxon Hill on the outer loop.
Thursday of this week. Several days it'll be in the mid to upper 90s. In fact, tomorrow, Tuesday, forecasting a high temperature at 102 degrees. It'll be the hottest day since August 28th of last year. 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 99 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
He's here. Now broadcasting from the underground command post, deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mind Love.
Do we have our music, Mr. Producer, our news music? Because I want to read what President Trump just posted here. I have to assume this is accurate. Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions for 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire, and upon the 24th hour, an official end of the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. On the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel, God bless Iran, God bless the Middle East, God bless the United States of America, and God bless the world. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. This is what he's just posted, so I'm reading it raw. It could be very interesting. Very interesting. You know, folks, we're going to talk about what's taking place here for 12 days and over the weekend, our fantastic military and commander-in-chief. Why we could talk about this, because it's very, very important. But it's also important that we understand that there is a crazed bunch of truly sick people who seek to steal the movement from Donald Trump and you, the 77 million people who voted for him. And the radical left media are promoting them and pushing them and telling us they're consistent and they're principled when they're not mocking them, calling them names, and laughing at them. You see, they don't want us to win the next election. They don't want us to win the next election, so they're going to promote these people. There's a guy, Colby Hall at Media. I told you he's a coward. We wanted to have a chat with him based on the last sleazy thing he wrote, but he wouldn't. It's okay. So he's telling us today, yeah, this Marjorie Taylor Greene is bat as crazy, but she's the most principled among MAGA. See what I mean? All these radical left sites and news organizations. It's not just her. But you look at the background of these people and the things that they've said, that no American was killed by Iran. That was their latest 5-watt light bulb comment. A few years ago, she basically denied the Holocaust and she had to apologize. This is a very sick woman. Not just another pretty face, I might add. And here I don't stop.
What an idiot.
I don't stop. You got this guy, Matt Gaetz. I didn't know a lot about Matt Gaetz. He's a good debater, was very good in these committees. Then I made the mistake of looking at that report that was released about this guy, Mr. Producer. He's a certified pervert. It's unbelievable. Now, I'm not going to post it. You can go do all your Google work all you want. Then you got a guy who calls his podcast The War Room and calls everybody else a warmonger. I remember when he joined the conservative movement from Hollywood. Yes, a blunderbuss. Now, his fantastic career.
You know, Billy Popcorn, you're lucky.
The internet
because I timed you out for 24 hours and then I timed you out for 10 seconds. So I might just ban your dumb ass.
Charities and is pleading.
I took Dougie's rent, so he can't help none of you.
He thinks that Fox, Hannity, Kayleigh McEnany,
he can't see what I'm doing.
Leave to have a baby girl, and I, among others, should be investigated because we support Israel. So I'm publicly calling for his investigation based on his relationship with Communist China. Go ahead, look it up. You'd think he'd be a little bit more supportive of Donald Trump at a time like this, given the fact that Trump pardoned his ass, and it's a big ass. But no. Then you have Qatarlson out there. You know what he did today, Mr. Producer? He praised Qatar. Praised Qatar. The Israelis have defeated the Iranian army, destroyed it, destroyed their air force, their navy, destroyed the whole damn thing, took out all of their senior officials, military, all of them. Their senior intelligence officials, their top nuclear scientists. We took out permanently, I hope, the nuclear sites for which we praise and support Donald Trump and what he's done. While the people I just mentioned were trashing Donald Trump at a time when he deserved our support because they don't have faith in him. Now, they interview each other and they post each other's interviews, and there's really quite a small following, quite frankly. And the radical left media love it. They sit there, they aggregate, they put up hysterical headlines because they want their clicks and all the rest of it. We keep it real here. Real here. Making sure the Islamo-Nazi terrorist regime in Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons was a priority.
This one blocked.
And the President of the United States took care of that.
Unless you remove my comment.
That's a big deal. It was a huge deal. It'll be remembered forever, as long as it holds. All the lies about a regional war, it's amazing. Virtually every Arab country today has denounced Iran because of the phony reputation-saving, quote-unquote, firing of missiles that we, the United States, the Israelis, the Iranians, and others agreed that they should do. Crazy, isn't it? It's amazing. None of this would be happening but for the Israelis and Donald Trump. None of this would be happening but for Netanyahu and Donald Trump. None of it. Now, these people I just mentioned, they have the same belief system as Talib when it comes to these issues. The same belief system as Omar when it comes to these issues. The same belief system is the most radical, leftist, Marxist, Islamist elements in our country. The blame of America First crowd. The blame the Jews in Israel crowd. And yet Israel and Donald Trump and the greatest fighting force on the face of the earth, the United States military, has ensured, at least for a period of time, peace by taking out those nuclear sites. Peace. Regardless of the people I just mentioned, what I call the Iran supporters, regardless of the media that plays them, in order to undermine our president and in hopes of destroying us in the next election. It's funny when you look at who your allies and supporters are. For the reprobates I just mentioned, it's the most radical elements in the Democrat Party and the most radical ideologues in the country. Not to mention the liberal media and their entrails like media. That's the truth. They didn't elect Donald Trump. Donald Trump elected Donald Trump. You elected Donald Trump. That's the truth, too. So we have a ceasefire. I hate this word ceasefire. I really do. The president hated it a few days ago, too. What's needed now is this, in my humble opinion. Iran should be forced to sign a surrender document, unconditional surrender. They lost their nukes. They've lost their air force. They have no ground-to-air protection. China didn't step in. Russia didn't step in. Not a single Arab country stepped in. The supreme Nazi is hiding in a bunker, much like Adolf Hitler did. Adolf Hitler wasn't thrown a lifeline. He wasn't thrown in a lifeline. He was going to be killed, so he committed suicide. I'm very much interested in seeing how this plays out. I really am. Because what does an agreement look like? Does that mean the supreme Nazi survives? Does that mean the regime survives? I guess so. If you understand the Islamist mindset, most of the people who talk do not.
I have iced tea.
They
I drink it straight, black,
have
pico,
no idea
iced tea.
about the Islamists. Mindset. The war room. You know, he actually reminds me of that guy in Deliverance. Who was that guy in Deliverance? Beatty. What was his name? Can you Google that while I'm talking to you, Mr.
Ned
Producer?
Beatty.
Okay.
I can't remember the
Let's
character.
look that up. That's who he really reminds me of. Except his hair is longer. You know, he looks like a hippie. But nonetheless, while he's picking on Kayleigh McEnany, isn't that sweet? He's a sweetheart because he doesn't like her opinion. Marjorie Taylor Greene has to be one of the dumbest people to ever serve in the House of Representatives. The stupidity that comes out of that woman's mouth is hard to imagine. The Iranians didn't kill any Americans. Just stupid, which is why they want to promote her. Or Carlson on a day like this. Shouldn't he be praising the president and the prime minister of Israel for what they've achieved? No, he praises Qatar. Hence his name, Carlson. Then we have Matt Gaetz, who's really destroyed his career, destroyed himself. But what do you expect? No wonder he didn't want that report to come out. This guy is officially certified one of the biggest perverts. In my humble opinion, just my opinion. I went back and looked. Holy mackerel. Wow. Just a very strange group. Great piece by Rich Lowry. National Review by this guy, Dave Smith. A comic. You gotta check that out. So they're there. But here's the thing. There are millions and millions of you. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of brilliant writers and commentators who lay out the case for freedom and the Constitution, for our own country's national security, for border security. I bring them to you often, whether it's on this program, on television, or on Blaze. Rational people, not grifters, not sloganeers, morons and worse. That's what we do here. We don't call our show The War Room. The War Room. We don't praise Qatar today. We praise the American military and our commander-in-chief and our allies, the Prime Minister of Israel and the Israeli military. A fantastic alliance that has achieved an enormous amount in 12 days. You know who knows this? President Trump. He knows this. Much more. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Folks have been shouting from the rooftops for years. The only way we save this republic is standing up, speaking out, fighting back. And guess what? We're finally seeing it happen. There's momentum towards common sense, but we can't take it for granted. This country doesn't fix itself. It takes people who care, people who are willing to stand up and be counted. We can't do it alone. Without all of our voices being heard, we're in trouble. That's why I'm calling on you to join AMAC. Go to amac.us/Levin, amac.us/LEVIN. Join the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the conservative alternative to that other organization. For as low as $12 a year, $1 a month, you get a subscription to their fantastic magazine, incredible discounts and benefits, free resources, and most importantly, a community of patriots like you who are fed up. The Association of Mature American Citizens is fighting for you, for faith, family, freedom. That's what they stand for, and that's what America needs right now. Visit amac.us/Levin, amac.us/LEVIN.
In Virginia and Fairfax, there is still accident activity on 123 near Riverview Lane, causing delays from Workhouse Road. And there is still the accident at Great Falls on westbound 7 at the Fairfax County Parkway. In addition, watch out for the accident in Prince William County, westbound on Dale Boulevard at Barksdale Street in the right lane. On the Beltway in Lanham on the outer loop after 450, there is an accident there blocking the left lane, and that is traffic jammed up from Landover Road. And the inner loop is still slow from the Leesburg Pike to the Spur, and again from Old Georgetown Road to University Boulevard. Heavy traffic as well right now on the GW Parkway southbound between Washington Boulevard and the 14th Street Bridge. Now from GarageRatePair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
An extreme heat warning in effect until 9 p.m. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 80. Tomorrow, another extreme heat warning, sunny with a high near 102. Feels like temps around 110.
Sponsored by Rumble. Join millions who trust Rumble's top live streaming personalities to break down the news that matters in real time. Miss the live stream? Catch the full video replay on demand with zero censorship. Download the Rumble app from your Apple Play or Google Play store today and choose from thousands of creators covering everything from financial markets to daily events and more. Choose an open internet and free expression. Choose rumble.com today.
Hey, 20 would you bid 30, 30 would you bid 40. That's the sound you're going to hear at the next Brostek auction. Hi, I'm Bernie Brostek of Brostek's Real Estate Auction Company of Baldwinsville, New York, and I have 40 years of proven experience in selling antiques, businesses, estates, households, residential and commercial and waterfront real estate. Call me at 678-2000 for a free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can receive top cash price for your real estate and personal property in one day the Brostek auction way. And it's sold.
Imagine the hospital experience. There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience.
You see that account right there? Right, and for some reason I had her name copied on my clipboard, so when I'm in my chat and I'm a wrench, you can't block them and then go fucking copy their name. You can't have the wrench to do it. So she has a lot of my accounts blocked, but it's okay for them. They troll. You know, Wiggins say, it's what I do. I'm just having fun, just trolling a little bit. You want to say something about my sex life, Alicia? You have 4 illegitimate kids. Where is the father of your children? You're dating a guy 30 years older than you. I don't know. I think if I'd have done that, I wouldn't want everybody on YouTube to know. I'd keep my fucking sex life private. Wiggin gets mad if you didn't fucking. Oh, they're a couple. Gee, power couple, just like Scott and Hey Girl. Unfucking believable. So, Daughter Truth, why don't you unblock my accounts? I've only been using one device. I don't use my laptop to go into Vegas or your chat and post and all that. I could program this motherfucker. Spam like Logical does. You guys tried to label me that. Hey, Wiggin. Both of them. You're a chicken shit, Wiggin. First you started with Rusty. Then you went to this fucking bitch. It's not like you fucking are high school sweethearts. Now, this is just a business arrangement. You need somebody like her to do fucking computer work because you don't know your way around here.
News Talk 105.9.
Tinker a little bit and all that. So I just stick to the basics. You're so fucking wound up. I'm just going to keep winding you up and watching you fucking.
It's actually quite good, I thought. And this was being discussed to the moment he came on television, apparently. The president's been on the phone.
Yeah, I don't like making fun. You know, people who are actually disabled like that, that's not funny.
So I look forward to reading.
Wiggin?
Carefully.
He wouldn't be able to take a punch in the face.
See,
that motherfucker.
Here's my thinking.
He can't fight. He'd run. That's why he's got guns.
Personal opinion. I've said from day one.
That where he lives.
With this regime, they will violate.
Hey, California, you can have guns, I'm pretty sure. Whatever their fucking deal is out there. Some counties you can, and some counties you can't. I don't know. I don't live in California.
And so that'll be key. They don't have an agreement yet. So if you have an opinion on what
Daughter of Truth is a fucking retard. That woman is a fucking flake. I tried to make a handle and it wouldn't let me do it. It won't let me call her Dizzy bitch or Ditzy. You can't use the word Ditzy as a name. It wouldn't let me do it.
But they're going to survive. I'm just curious if that's okay with this audience.
Yo, Coffee Man, it'd be good if JC just cleaned her act up a little bit. Maybe give me an apology.
He lives, he survived.
She thinks that shit's funny. Look at her. She needs me for content. I'm not going back to her chat, Coffee Man.
He does what he does.
That thing with Patrick Rose, she should have booted him right off the fucking panel for doing that. No death threats.
It'll be very important to see.
She thought that was funny. So fuck you, JC.
There is an agreement just to cease fire.
You know, you see what happened to him, right?
I very definitely want to know.
I got lucky as far as Alpesh Patel is concerned. He let me do that shit over there. And I have a wrench over there. Patrick, you're the only one I'm going to time out in that chat. If I see you in there, I'm going to nail your fucking dumbass. No, you can't. You can undo a 24-hour timeout. Mainly of, well, here there's only one wrench. So when I did it, it's the same person.
Fourth highest rated news channel, just behind CNN.
So, Daughter of Truth, why don't you unblock my past around account there, huh? You can't take it. I don't block Logical's fucking shit. And all the other ones that, you know,
so download
fucking talking over that fucking thing. You notice Whipperman ain't been around with my mother's pic and me kissing her? Huh? Got that from Randy. Randy, did he pay you for that, or did you give that up for free, Randy? Did you hire a fucking army, Randy? Are you Mary Bernie's original army? Did you use Mary Bernie? I bet you did. That woman is one dumb fucking woman. But then JC's even more dumb, if that's possible. You want me to talk good about you, JC? Man, at this point, there's really not anything good to say about you. You're not all that interesting. You don't make me laugh. All you got is a crew of people behind you so you can do your little fucking thing on the panel. Wiggin was in my chat this morning when I streamed. Look at, they came in here again. Where are you, daughter? Did Wiggin go live or something? Or is JC live? JC, who are you going to get up on the panel try to lure me in? How about you, Tammy? Why don't you come on up here, you fucking fat nigger? There, I said it. Do something. Report me. See, that's not really my character doing that. But you know what? You deserve it, Tammy. You deserve every fucking thing coming your way. I watched you run your fucking mouth. And then Wiggin said something about you in JC's chat. Tammy? That fucking thing, I bet you she smells bad. That's one ugly bitch. Tammy is one ugly fucking bitch. I'm glad she's black. She fucking give white chicks a bad name. She were white and fucking acted the same and everything. We'd be in trouble. How about it, JC? Why don't you bring Logical with you? Bring Logical up here, and you can talk me into loving Logical. Okay, everybody's got to love Logical. He's a great guy. He's funny. You know, he's smart, witty. He's got the best laugh. It sounds like a 14-year-old girl when he talks.
Access our podcast archives and more. WMAL.com. Making sense of your world online.
Here's Michelle Murray in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
In the district, watch out for police activity on 15th Street between East Street and New York Avenue in Northwest. On New York
John Doe finally said something smart. He said something about Logical, been spamming like that. And they talk. I'm not the spammer.
On the Avenue of the Beltway in Landham, after 450, that crash is blocking the left lane. Traffic is very slow from Landover Road. Some delays on the outer loop through Greenbelt between the BW parking and the Greenbelt Metro exit, and still slow from the Springfield interchange to the Wilson Bridge, and the inner loop delays headed from Tyson's Inn towards Bethesda. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
An extreme heat warning.
I have more broccoli to cook. I'm going to eat healthy again tonight when it's time to eat.
It will feel like 110 at times. Tomorrow, another extreme heat warning with feels like temps around 110. Right now, 98 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Hi, I'm Jamie McMurray, professional race car driver here with cab driver Art. Professional cab driver. Professional cab driver Art. Drinking responsibly is known.
Hey, Monica, at least Mary Bernie turns her camera on. You guys make fun of her because that's what you need.
So, you think I could take your number 26-pound Royal Race now for a spin?
Did you get out of there?
Be a champion. Drink responsibly. This message has been brought to you by the
Monica, why don't you turn your camera on? Let's see what your house looks like. You lazy bitch. Fat and lazy.
Got everything you've been searching for.
Think she's a madam.
Huge jackpots, exclusive offers, and more. New players get a 10-day welcome offer.
Monica, whatever happened to Dream Team, you and Kellyanne?
Just $5 to start. Download
The Giggling Wonders.
Sign up with code DRAW and spin your favorite slots.
Oh, I'm glad I can't see Billy. Oh, I can't see Billy. So, like, my life is supposed to be affected negatively because I can't read what Monica Ann is posting. Well, actually, I can because like Angie, I have a spy account.
Casino spins issued as 50 spins per day for 10 days, valid for future.
No need to be incognito. If you go incognito, you can't hit your keyboard and type anything. It won't let you. If you just use a sock account that nobody sees, right?
Here's what you're missing out on. Real talk, raw moments.
But you have to subscribe to the Vegas chat in order to make a comment.
Drama and surprise drop-ins from my mom, the real star of the show. And
I'm not even trying.
Like Brittany Cartwright, Sheena Shea, and
I mean, I have last couple days.
A cry or someone
All right.
to say the stuff you're thinking. I'm your girl. No judgment here. Give them Lala.
You see how I greatly influence acid drip? That motherfucker's calling the cops. They know who he is. Then you got Patrick Rowe calling the VFW. I have your phone number. Chris gave me your phone number. It's not illegal for him to do it. It's not like you call the cops. Patrick Rowe, it's a burner phone. Duh.
So President Trump hadn't done what he did, despite these countervailing pressures. Iran would be a nuclear Iran. I have no doubt the Houthis would have a nuclear weapon. They talk about the sleeper cells in America. Well, those sleeper cells have been here for years. They didn't just come here over the weekend. I have no doubt they would have tried to get.
Wouldn't you be better off if you just ate JC out?
The ifs. I hear people say, including some of my friends in broadcast, now let's see what the sleeper cells do. Now let's see what they do to our military sites. Now let's see. They act like we don't have experience with this country. They act like they're just as stupid as Marjorie Taylor Greene, who said Iran has never killed an American. They've been killing and maiming and spreading terrorism. They don't need a quote-unquote reaction to what took place in order to keep doing it, and they're going to keep doing it. Look, whether it's Iran, whether it's Hamas, whether it's Hezbollah, the Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Islamic Jihad, and the list goes on and on and on, they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. Because they believe their faith, as perverse as their approach to their faith is to kill us. That's what God's mandate is. So they kill Muslims who don't agree with them. They kill Jews and Christians. They don't care. Atheists, gay people, they particularly hate. They hate us, America.
But Noble, be thankful I don't turn Muslim, extremist Muslim.
Even if Iran were wiped off the face of the earth, they're not going
I'd
to
love
stop.
to fucking throw you off a 12-story building.
I'm sorry to pour reality
Watch it
on
bounce.
us, but they're not.
Fud.
Let me tell you what's not going to happen to prove my point. We have terrorist working groups, local, state, federal, law enforcement. They're not going away. TSA at the airports, it's not going away. Terrorist units within virtually every metropolitan police department, certainly every federal law enforcement entity, they're not going away. The fence around the White House isn't going away. The bulletproof glass when the president speaks, that's not going away. It's not going away. Of course we have homegrown nut jobs. But we also have terrorists. They're not going away. It's very, very important to understand this. You can only do what you can do. Iran still is a horrendous danger. They're plotting. The communist Chinese are plotting. North Korea is plotting, and so many others. They're not going to back down. North Korea is going to build more nukes. China is going to continue to build up its military as it eyeballs Taiwan, islands off of Japan, Philippines, and beyond. I mean, what the hell? They're on both sides of the Panama Canal. That's not a mistake. They're militarizing the Arctic Circle. That's not a mistake. They have bases in the middle of the Pacific, including in Saipan, where my great uncle fought. That's not a mistake. They have a base on the west coast of Africa facing our coast. That's not a mistake. These are dangerous, dangerous, dangerous entities. So we can go around with the modern day peaceniks, even though some of them are fat and slovenly, even though some of them pretend to be ultra patriotic, even though they pretend to support our troops when they undermine our troops in a time of a battle like this. Have the same voices, the same mindset, and we know this because of Tlaib and Omar and Bernie Sanders, with whom they've united. And so this is a forever fight within the United States. If we want to be safe and free, do you want your children and grandchildren to be the like? This enemy's not going away. One day it's Iran, it's going to be another country and so forth and so on. What do you want to do, warmonger? What do you mean, what do I want to do? I don't want to go to war with every country. And we're not. It's impossible. It would also be stupid. I told you foreign policy is based on prudence, not ideology. Prudence, not ideology. Each case has to be taken with its facts, intelligence, history, who's in charge. And there's a whole long list of things that need to be taken into consideration, far above my pay grade. And that's why we have the great military that we do. They help us figure these things out. That said, all these protections we have in place in our homeland, whatever this ceasefire is or whatever a deal is made, they're not going to go away. Are they? Well, why not? Because the enemy is the enemy. They're not going away. The Islamist Nazi terrorists are not going away. If they can take down another building with 1,000 Americans in it, they're going to do it. They can assassinate our president, they're going to do it, or at least try. They can slaughter people in a mall or plant bombs or shoot people in the back when they're leaving an event or burn people alive who are protesting. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And it's not because of what happened in Iran. Everything I just mentioned to you happened before what took place over this weekend. The sleeper cells have been here. The assassination attempt on our president took place. These terrorist front groups are in our country. Not because the Israelis destroyed the Iranian military, not because our military destroyed their nuclear sites. They're here. And there's going to be more of them. They have children and grandchildren. We have federal judges who keep releasing them. They're here. To speak out. We must be resolute. Ignore the slogans and the bumper sticker statements about warmongers and neocons and who's more principled than the next. None of that matters. None of it. This is a fake cabal. This is a fake media and a very, very dangerous Democrat Party. Very dangerous. You have the Arab countries in the Middle East who've united against Iran tonight because they were never supporters of Iran, except for Qatar, who Qatarlson has praised. But even Qatar got its dander up.
That keeps pausing.
It was play acting.
Oh, why they fucking do that?
They hit nothing. They were shot out of the sky. The Qataris got a heads up. The United States got a heads up. And apparently the Israelis got a heads up. So they get to save face. This is a regime that is likely now to remain in place unless the Iranian people rise up, which is less likely, I think, at this point. Less likely at this point. That's my take on it. Now, there are people who will try and twist it and attack it. Anytime you want to know what I say, you listen. If you can't listen live, you go to our website, marklevinshow.com. We keep 4 years worth of archives there. 4 years. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. These days, when it comes to news, the World Wide Web is more like the Wild Wild West.
It makes you want to throw something, doesn't it?
So where can you go to make sense of your world online? Depend on WMAL.com. Get the day's top stories. Stream your favorite WMAL shows. Access our podcast archives and more. Awesome, hilarious, entertaining, educational. For a local news source you can trust, visit WMAL.com. Making sense of your world online.
Accident activity on the Beltway in Lanham affects the outer loop after 450, where the left lane is blocked, and the inner loop, the left lane also blocked with this incident. Inner loop delays begin at 95, and the outer loop is jammed up on Landover Road. Also, still a slow go on the outer loop between the Springfield Interchange and the Wilson Bridge. And on the inner loop, you will find slowing traffic still headed from the Leesburg Pike to the 270 spur, and more delays from Connecticut Avenue to Georgia Avenue, and some delays heading in towards College Park. On 395, the express lane southbound on the 14th Street Bridge, there is an accident. Main lanes are slow northbound between 110 and the 14th Street Bridge. Now from GarageStoryPair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
An extreme heat warning in effect until 9 p.m. Tonight, mostly clear, low around 80. Tomorrow, another extreme heat warning. Sunny with a high near 102. Feels like temps around 110.
Did your last vacation house for the whole crew leave you wishing there was a better way to stay together? Like with bedrooms?
This is the account. I can have up to 10 people up on my panel on this one. And I'd like to see enough people come in so I could prove it. I can have up to 10 people on this panel. That's what it says on the thing. This is the one.
You won't believe what you resorted to before.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer.
So it's depending on how things go. I'm thinking about buying the StreamYard. I'm just going to pay for the fucker for the year. I'll have unlimited time. If I want to leave it up and walk away, I can. Should be able to. Whipperman, where are you? See, when they lose, that's what they do. He doesn't even try to troll me now. Guess he's done. The only one doing it is Logical. He's the only one spamming it at me. But he has support, y'all. Old fucking Wiggins says he's doing a good job. You trusted this thing, Wiggin. Makes you stupid. Told you the first time. You wanted me to apologize to this fucking thing. You kidding me? That was the dumbest fucking thing you ever said to me, is to apologize to that person. I wanted to just backhand you when you did that. Fuck you, Wiggin. You ain't shit.
Being raised to become a canine companion for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK.
No doubt some of your money that you have is ill-gotten, you fucking crook. You fucking lie, cheat, and steal for $100 and then brag that you got it.
Including veterans, people with disabilities, kids, and your friends and neighbors. 40% of American births are covered by Medicaid. Medicaid covers healthcare costs.
Normal person wouldn't show cash like that on a panel.
Rely on this program. It has 77% support. Nearly 9 in 10 Americans oppose.
Why would you even tell Rusty you had the money in there like that? I would fucking.
Many of these people voted for President Trump, but they didn't vote for this. If Congress cuts Medicaid, a lot of rural hospitals could close, and a lot of rural families will be hurt. No matter how you look at it,
The irony of it is, you think you're a genius and a king. Why do I make you so mad, Wiggin? What didn't I do you want me to do? I don't know what I'm doing, you said. I'm not cut out for this, you said. And you just want me to sit here and talk about you. That's what you do on your panel. Talk about people.
Again, I want to repeat, it's clear that if President Trump is not president, can you imagine? Kamala Harris? The Democrats are very upset.
How about it, VB? Imagine if Kamala Harris was president. that what you want?
Even calling for impeachment. I don't know who's sicker. The fake MAGA cabal or the Democrats and their media. And the Democrats, the media, and the isolationists did everything they could to prevent the president from ordering our heroic military to take out those sites. But he did. It did everything possible to smear and libel him, and to smear and libel his partner and friend, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and their military, which effectively defeated the Iranian military in 48 hours and helped lay a path.
So basically, Jews are the real KKK. They're the real evil white people.
Four-star general pointed out, to help us with our bombers to take out those sites. He did what no president did before him. The entire free world should enthusiastically and openly thank the president.
Did you Google search it there on the earth there, you guys? Whippermano and Rum and Kubla Khan, all you fucking Trump haters, American haters.
The Arab countries can now stop their war words against Israel while praying the American-Israeli alliance succeeded. We can all sleep a little easier. President Trump is a historic and iconic figure.
You hear that, Tammy
You don't have
Holt?
to agree with everything he says or does. We've talked about this before. So if you disagree with something, that's perfectly fine.
I don't like how that fucking
But if your
does that.
goal is to undermine him, to smear him, to cripple him, to stab him in the back, that's quite a different
Either
thing.
it's in the
This is
system
why
or
that little
somebody's
cabal
trying to use malware
will
against
be
me.
forever remembered as detestable Lilliputians. Forever remembered.
It hesitates.
We'll see what the ceasefire results in. We'll talk about it on this program. We'll see if there's some kind of deal. I'd be very curious to see what that looks like, but who knows? Who knows? What we have so far is that within 24 hours, fighting will stop. Should be very interesting whether the regime, the Islamo-Nazi regime in Iran, if it stops, will its proxy stop the Houthis? Will its proxy stop Hezbollah? Will its proxy stop Hamas? Be very interesting. Remember, we had to deal with the Houthis that they couldn't shoot at our planes anymore and our ships. Remember that, Mr. Producer? That it excluded Israel. That wasn't so good. And so we'll be here to examine it, ask questions about it, and hopefully everywhere possible support all the efforts that are taken. But again, not to sabotage. That's a completely different issue. This is my problem with the left, the Democrats, the media, and the isolationists. They're saboteurs. Once you remember this day, they told you that there would be a regional war. They lied. They told you there would be World War III. They lied. That's what they told you. And now they'll tell you that anytime we're hit by terrorists, doesn't matter who or where, that's a result of what President Trump and Israel did. They're liars. We were hit by terrorists before, a lot of them. Think about 9/11, for God's sakes.
Fuck you, Wiggin. You dumb son of a bitch.
An enemy that
I'm going to start using your daughter against you. How you like that?
Have our mindset.
If you weren't a fucking drug addict and the mother of your child, she probably wouldn't be ill like that. That's fucking child abuse.
And it will remain secure under this president.
Did you say you have twins? Right. This one has twin sister?
You sent me something. Let me do this. By the way, can I say one other thing? I'm so proud of you folks in this audience.
I want to just kick you in the nuts.
Really you don't live on the internet, thank God. You don't live in the comment sections, which I really read. You're real Americans.
Put my palm right in your face.
You follow the law, you work hard, and you pay your taxes, and you expect your government to defend you and protect you. That's not irrational. That's what the government's supposed to do, and that's what it just did. That's what it just did. We all know that the regime could
On a
not
submarine,
really
there's
do.
this. Let's see, what do they
But
call
finally,
it?
we have somebody who put his foot down. The problem is we
It's
actually
a
have people in
team
our
that,
country.
in case the captain of the ship comes under duress.
We actually have people in our country who were opposed to stopping them.
I'd have to kill you if you tried to kidnap the
Opposed to
captain of my
stopping them.
ship. I have that
We'll
right.
never forget them. Nor will I relent. We will continue to expose them. Whether they be in the Democrat Party, the media,
Wiggins mad. I'm better at trolling than
or
he
whether they
is.
be fake MAGA
I've
or
fooled
anybody
JC
else.
more times. I
We're
fooled
down to the
him
final
more
days of
times.
Pure Talk's heartfelt
I've
effort
identified
to give away
more
1,000
people
allegiance flags to
who are
deserving
using
veterans in
extra
time for
accounts.
Independence Day, which is right around the corner, you well know.
Especially
Think about the
JC's
feeling of
boys,
flying
those
a
dumb
beautiful American
fucks.
flag, handcrafted in Charleston, South Carolina, honoring the country you've faithfully served. Because of, I'm proud to endorse Pure Talk, and it's why I'm proud to be a Pure
Ginger
Talk
Stick is the
customer.
one
We
that
share our
was
values.
calling
We
me
stand up for our
butthurt.
veterans.
Oh, you Billy
It's not too late
Butthurt.
for you to help.
Oh, Billy
Switch your cell phone
Butthurt.
service to Pure
You're a
Talk right now,
pathetic
folks.
person,
Support a
Ginger.
company that
You
will
really
provide
are.
these flags to our veterans. And more than that, they have plans starting from just $25
Fucking
a month.
glorifying
They have
logical
incredible
phallus.
coverage
Calls
of
himself
America's
logical
most dependable
fallacy.
5G network. You're going to be saving money, supporting a great cause. You're not going to get that out of AT&T, Verizon.
Mad, everybody
T-Mobile.
calls him log liquor.
I urge you to dial pound 250 and say keyword Mark Levin. Pound
You're,
250, say keyword Mark Levin.
you're welcome to come up
The
if you
Pure
think you're
Talk
brave there,
network.
Patrick Francis Callahan from Newburgh, New York.
And support a
I'll
patriotic
fucking come looking for you, dumbass.
Pound 250, say Mark Levin. Switch today. It's simple. It's my wireless company. It's America's
Got your
wireless
address
company.
and your
That
phone
is
number.
Pure Talk. One more
Call
time.
my landline. You
Pound
fucking shows your
250,
mother's name,
say
Margaret
Mark Levin.
fucking Callahan.
We got
What a
lot
dumb
going on,
fucker.
folks. Couple of great guests. Stick with
Cops
us.
are
I know you
laughing.
want to. We'll be right back.
Power up FDU. Oh, FDU. Oh, Sebastian solid. Oh, Carlito solid. Yeah, logical solid. DA likes his men solid. Solid. These fuckers are, though. Logical, why don't you come on up and let everybody hear that fucking high squeaky voice you have? I dare you.
We were made to have strong opinions about sex. We were made to help you and your friends find a place on the beach with a pool and a marina and a water.
So is there really a beef between Rocky and Wiggin?
Hey, 20 would you bid 30?
I mean, I'd have to believe, Wiggin attacked Rocky. I can't even let him up on my panel. Wiggin doesn't approve. It's like, what the fuck? I tell you what, Wiggin, you start paying my internet bill for me and that, and send me an extra $100 on top of it. I'll let you run my chat. No,
Personal property in one day, the Bostic auction.
because you're one of the ones that's always lurking. Hey, where else you gonna get material when you go live yourself? Or did you retire? You come back? You gave Will Durant your crown and then you took it back? You're an Indian giver. Indian giver. Jeez, that's gonna make a good fucking handle tonight when I make it. But yeah, I can have 10 people on this panel.
Available at a grocery store near you.
WMALFM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news.
Wind's blowing. It's hot summer day. The shadow you see casting is the flag.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. Hours after Iran hit a U.S. airbase in Qatar, President Trump says Israel and Iran have agreed.
Dougie sat here and Googled Earth my place and went right up Austin Street, right? Should Google. Let's see what Iran looks like. I bet they got fucking pictures of that. The first 3 holes of a new golf course.
Tomorrow really is a new day. The end of the 12-day.
Now, that would be something to see. People dressed in Arab garb out playing golf.
Mr. Trump writes, quote, congratulations to everyone. Tomorrow, he'll be attending the NATO summit. Security has been visibly tightened across the region following the U.S. airstrikes on Iran.
You might see added security in the form of added patrols near churches and synagogues, but there's plenty going on behind the scenes as well as local and federal agencies coordinate intelligence to keep the D.C. area protected from threats.
I can tell you that the intelligence on the ground has already begun searching social media accounts, looking at online sites.
National Security Specialist Jim Ort tells 7 News he's confident security planning for a potential Iran strike has been in the works for months. Police are quick to stress that right now there are no known threats in the D.C. area. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser has this message for concerned
Just
residents.
so
We don't
fucking
have any
ignorant.
specific threats to the district, but our law enforcement and intelligence officials are working with the federal government.
She says the city's deployed what she calls situationally appropriate strategies that involve heightened levels of communication and awareness. A D.C. man who gave people on the National Mall a scare Saturday night when he allegedly sped down the dirt paths and did donuts faces multiple charges. 31-year-old Curtis Samir was in court today answering to charges of fleeing to elude, disorderly conduct, and
I just looked into JC's chat, and there you have that Luscious Mark, right? Admitting he's bipolar. Lucius Mark, right? And he fucking talking about me and he blocks me. That I'm bipolar. You know, Mina might be able to get away with saying it there, Lucius, you dumb fucker. Tom, that's funny. That's funny. That made my night right there. What par would that be? 9? Yeah, not much going on here. Same fucking bullshit. The fucking guy who admits to being bipolar is fucking, making light of the fact that I'm bipolar. This is what a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. Hey, Luscious Mark there. Yeah, I noticed you got one eye goes fucking one way and you got one eye goes the other way. And the way you talk, it's like you have an IV of fucking Everclear stuck in your arm. You just constantly fucking intoxicated. You can't even speak.
Exclusive offer. It's the GLP-1 fitness formula.
How about it there, boy? Get out of the girls' locker room. Come on over to the men's locker room.
Especially designed for beginners using a weight loss drug. Just go to body.com to sign
And where's Spanky calling me pussy? Gee, I wonder who that is.
I mean, who doesn't? Constant Contact's marketing platform makes marketing way easier and way more effective. Even if you know nothing about marketing, you can easily create email, text, social, events, and digital campaigns.
Mike Harrison.
It's why over 500,000 business owners.
Mike Harrison uses sock accounts.
Constant Contact, helping the small stand tall. Get 25% off.
Well, we took out their centrifuges. That's all we asked. No bombs. They got more fucking oil over there. You know what? Half of America's electricity is coal generated. Did you know that? Using steam. There's not just one, each city is its own municipality, each town. And where I live, down in Oswego, there's a nuclear power plant there. Been there for fucking many years now.
Parkway North, now between 410 and the Beltway.
As a matter of fact, my father was on that job when they started to build it. He's a concrete headmaster on that motherfucker.
This extreme heat is going to continue through Thursday. This evening, our temperatures from the 90s to the 80s will be around 80 degrees tonight. And sunshine on tap for Tuesday.
My father did a lot of traveling to where he had to work. That motherfucker was everywhere.
Warning issued by the National Weather Service. I'm 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson at the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now in Washington, 98 degrees.
My dad taught me good work ethic.
On 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
I was going to say something to you, Andy, but now he's back on. It's about acid trips chat, what I did over there. Patrick Rowe right now is in JC's chat. Why don't you go drag that fucker over here? Tell Patrick Rowe fucking Rocky Goldman wants to talk to him.
Somebody I respect enormously. Mark, let me ask you a question here. And I'm a little concerned. I mean, I'm reading that a senior Iranian official has confirmed that they're in for a ceasefire. Then I read another report that another senior Iranian official says we never heard from the United States. Either way, you have the Israelis who've been fighting for almost 2 years, Iran, through its proxies and so forth. They've had hostages murdered. There's still hostages in with Hamas. You see what they did with Hezbollah. The Houthis, we made a deal with the Houthis, but it didn't include the Israelis. They've been taking ballistic missiles in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and all around the country. For a little country like that, they've lost a hell of a lot of IDF soldiers. You have these brilliant tactics with Iran, and they took out a lot of their radar systems and other things, and they built a path, as the head of the Joint Chiefs mentioned, that in part allowed us to do what we did with the nuclear sites. Where are we going with this?
Well, I think the happiest person in the world if Iran is not agreeing to peace is Bibi, because he's got free reign to do whatever he wants in Iran right now. I mean, if the Iranians want to commit suicide, let them. They have almost no air defenses. They've taken out more than half of their ballistic missiles. The terror networks have been decimated. The skies of Syria are being used to shoot down Iranian missiles instead of Syria being a transit way for a weapons pipeline to Iran's terror proxies. And they just showed their total weakness by firing 14 missiles at Al Udeid and warning us ahead of time so we could shoot them down, because they wanted to have a symbolic strike to respond to what we did. I mean, this regime.
Let's try it a different way.
Yeah.
Let's say they say yes. What do you want us to sign? Then what?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's where we're headed. I mean, the outcome is inevitable. The regime is either they have a choice. They're either going to stop fighting and stop attacking.
When I do that,
and agree to whatever
they just fly right away.
Or they're going to be decapitated.
Morning doves.
I mean, Trump has said, what's wrong with regime change?
Now,
which is a wake up call to the isolationist right. I'm happy to take them out if that's what they choose. It's up to them.
But my question is, what would a paper agreement look like? You have Hamas, you have Hezbollah, you have the Houthis. How would they be part of this agreement? In other words, those are still entrails of the Islamist terror regime in Tehran, no?
Yeah. So the whatever agreement it is, it's the surrender on the deck of the USS Missouri. It's a complete and total surrender. That's what Donald Trump wants, and that means no more support for terrorism, no more support, no more pursuing nuclear weapons, inverifiable destruction of what's left of your enriched uranium. They don't have any centrifuges anymore. Thanks to those brilliant B-1 flyers from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, and the peaceful completion of the mission that was carried out on Saturday night, or we can just let Israel continue to pummel them until there's nothing left. It's their choice.
I'm not sure I agree with your parallel on the Missouri. I like it. But it did take 2 atomic bombs. You understand what I would mean? It's not like...
I know. You know what? We dropped 420 pounds of 420,000 pounds.
But we did not drop it on Tehran, did we? Did we?
No, we did not.
Did we drop it on a city?
That's fair. That's
Okay,
fair.
let's be honest about it. All right. So that said, and we shouldn't, but it's
No,
a
I
different
agree,
circumstance.
100%. Our enemy is the regime, not the people.
Now, what do you say to people who seem to be lying in wait, these isolationists and others, if there's a terrorist attack on us and so forth, then they want to figure out.
You lied, JT.
Let me
You
ask
guys are holding hands, getting to know each other. You made like you didn't know him. Who's this logical?
Before Saturday night,
It's your turn, JT. You're no better than Wiggin.
Killed more Americans than the Iranian regime.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to.
So when you guys gonna get back together? Come on up, JT. Just you and me. But I can have 10 people up here. Come on there, youngster.
That person, Marjorie
Take
Taylor
on a
Greene,
pro.
I don't know any Americans who've been killed by Iran.
Oh my God.
Like what
JC ain't got shit.
Yeah. No, she is a moron.
All she has is a bunch of wrenches.
The Iran has killed more.
So she doesn't have to admit being wrong about something.
Iran has been at war with us since 1979 when they took the hostages.
Mm-hmm.
They've been at war with us. We're just completing it. So this was, and the other thing is this whole idea of a MAGA schism over this is such fake news.
Oh, I just cracked my
Reagan
back. That
Institute
felt
poll
good.
Came out, and it showed 90% of MAGA, self-described MAGA Republicans support Donald Trump in ending Iran's nuclear program. And I bet you since Saturday night, the other 10% have come around. The Tucker Carlsons of the world, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world. If we still had phone booths, that's where they'd be meeting. Except they don't have a place.
I don't like how
anymore.
my
There are no more
screen
phone booths.
hesitates like that.
I
turn to look at my phone. I look back up here, and the fucking thing's
The
hesitating.
Independent, the Washington, they all call me. They want to comment and so forth. Say again?
Because they're loud. They're
Yeah.
loud. It's like a lot stomping their feet. And by
But
the way,
they
Mark,
but
it's not just.
yeah.
It's not just.
Go ahead, bud. I'm sorry. How about an echo?
Say
Did
the
we
U.S. percent say we should be less engaged and react to events. 84% say the U.S. has a moral obligation to stand up for human rights and democracy wherever possible. 71% support responding to defend a NATO ally if they were attacked by Russia. I mean, and also I want to say I don't have the number. 73% say that we should send military forces to defend Taiwan if it's attacked or by China. That's MAGA voters. That's not.
They cut that. Oh, I hate that.
Post today, which I think I linked to, although I resent subscribing to those damn people. Well, that's just me. Yeah, I mean, when you look at this, really,
That's been talked about for a long time. China,
the war room,
taking over Taiwan.
And then you have
That's been an issue for a long time because that's what they want to do.
Up there, that the Iranians never killed.
They act like they're
Americans.
a peaceful nation.
We literally have dead soldiers in our military cemeteries. We have citizens. We have people that come out of Georgia. Man, how reckless and ignorant is a statement like
What's the matter,
that?
Andy? You don't like Gotti?
Carlson today, who praises Qatar.
Hey, Wiggin brought people up on his panel. He knew he'd piss other people
I
off.
think, Martise, and this is why the media pushed these.
I didn't
guys,
bring
because
Gotti up here to
the
piss
world
Wiggin
think that
off.
they represent us.
He's
They don't
already
represent
fucking pissed off, that pissy
They don't represent
motherfucker.
nobody. They
He's a
don't
piss
represent
pot
the
like
MAGA movement,
Pat.
but they
Bunch of
fought-
piss
they
pot
fought because
motherfuckers.
Donald Trump was with them because Donald Trump said that we're not going to get dragged. We
have a bad connection.
Republicans, and so they thought
You
they
guys
thought that he was
fucking
gonna-
threw
he was
Charlie
gonna be
under the
one of them.
bus.
And the greatest joy of this
Yeah.
whole Israeli campaign and now U.S. Israeli campaign, other than seeing the Iranian nuclear program going up in flames, is seeing the isolationist right go up in flames, and discovering that Donald Trump is not an isolationist.
I
and
have to
neither
keep
are
my
the
word
MAGA
with Charlie because I'm for
And I don't know why
veterans.
that was
So
ever
if you
hard
are
to
a
do,
veteran,
because he was talking about taking out these
I'd give
nukes
you the
from day
shirt right
one.
off my
I mean,
fucking
he's been
back
the
if
most
I had to.
consistent and vocal about it, and it's not like the
Probably
Iranian
give my
regime was
life
gonna
to
volunteer
save
it, so he
the
played
whole
them out
truth.
as long as he could. But they were never going to say, you know what, you've convinced us.
He's
After
around.
40
You give
years
him,
and
he'll
hundreds
be
of
around.
billions of dollars, wanting to blow
He's
up
waiting
the,
for the.
United
He's trying to wait
States
for
and
the right
Jews
time.
and other Muslims who don't agree with. You know what? You've convinced us. And they were never going to do that. So I think it was Trump who played them rather than they playing Trump. Don't you think?
Absolutely. And look, this is the guy who destroyed ISIS. This is the guy who killed Qasem Soleimani.
Why are
This is
you
the guy who
even
wants a
here,
cyber
Andy?
attack on Russia to take out their troll farm in St. Petersburg that was interfering in our election to kill.
Doesn't make any
Syria
sense.
Twice for using chemical weapons on
We
his
ain't
people.
friends.
This guy was never an isolationist.
We don't enjoy chatting with each other.
The reason why we didn't get dragged into any war on his first.
You're always
is because
posting at me.
everybody was
Why are you
afraid
in
of
my
him.
chat, Andy?
He didn't retreat from the world. He made our enemies retreat.
Hey, you want to see if you can get
You
me to
make a
time
great point. I
time
just
you
wanna
out or
emphasize
something,
that
or
you're
what?
making it as well.
You sticking
But
up
your
for
case is
Wiggin?
very articulate, which is MAGA is not divided. The
I think
percentages of
Wiggin
people
is
who
afraid of
voted for
Gotti.
Trump and identify with "Make America Great
In fact, I
Again"
know
in
he
Reagan
is.
term were never these kooky isolationists.
Gotti's
that felt
fucking
that
pussycat.
under no circumstances do you ever use the United States military.
I'm the
even to
one that
defend yourself
fucking he
against some
wants.
Islam
Gotti
Nazi
doesn't even
regime with nuclear
stream.
weapons.
I don't know why he
That's
fucking had
suicide,
such a
isn't it?
fit over him.
They're like rats on a
He
ship.
just
They
enjoying
jumped on
the
back of
hobby.
ship, and they hitched a ride, hoping
Fuck
that
you,
they would
Wiggin.
take them to where they wanted to go, and they found out that there's
And
an
your little
exterminator
buddy
on board.
Kelja. Ever who fucking
I do
Kelja
think
is.
it's very important.
Bunch
as
of
excited
fake
as we are about all this,
motherfuckers.
and we should be. To understand what this ceasefire means, to understand if there's going to be a deal later, given the mindset of these
John
people,
McCain
it's
said
not
it.
like the
He
West in any
did an
respect.
interview and somebody asked him about
and it is very
Iran and
important
all that, and he
that,
brought up the Beach Boys
in their
song.
defeat,
Bomb,
in their
bomb,
military
bomb,
defeat, because let's
bomb,
face it,
bomb,
he's really
Iran.
defeated the
Bomb,
Israelis,
bomb, bomb,
defeated their
bomb,
military in
bomb,
48
Iran.
hours. I mean, now what they're doing ballistic
I can't get that high, and I'm not even going to try.
and they had to defeat
We
all
need
their
a tenor.
proxies to
Where
just
are you
about.
there, fucking
And of
Mr.
course, I'm
Baboom?
magnificent, Air Force, what they did, and Navy, and everybody else who was involved.
Hey, Logical,
We
I
just have
bet
to
you
make
got a
sure,
good singing voice.
because I
Let's
know
hear
enough
you.
about history. This isn't even about Donald Trump. We just have to make sure that the quote-unquote peace or the
I want to hear
aftermath of this
Logical sing.
doesn't just
Him
put
and
these
Mary
people
Bernie
off for a
should
generation
do
with their back.
some karaoke.
See what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. But he's right to try and get them that peaceful option out. Look,
Yeah.
I remember. I'm old enough to remember.
No one
like
cares,
you, I served in
Andy.
the Reagan administration. I was an intern.
Yeah,
in the
you're
last year of the
petty.
Reagan administration.
For an
There
old
was a
guy,
lot of
you're a
conservatives who
petty
criticized Ronald Reagan
motherfucker.
for talking to Gorbachev. Howard Phillips
That's
called
all
him a
I
useful
see,
idiot of
Andy.
Soviet
You're a
communism.
petty motherfucker.
And
Yeah.
and he ended up bringing down the Soviet Union. There's nothing wrong with talking to your enemies. The difference that Donald Trump faces from Ronald Reagan is that he doesn't have a Gorbachev. He's got a Putin. He's got an Ayatollah Khamenei, and they're not willing to do what Gorbachev was willing to do. So you have to have an interlocutor, but that doesn't mean you don't try. You don't give them the option because you never know what they're going to do. But he's willing to. He's not negotiating out of weakness. He just backed it up with B-2 bombers. He's negotiating out of strength, and so God bless him. If he can get them to cry uncle or amo, as they say in Persian.
You know what
the
I'm
first
thinking,
word for
Andy.
uncle, then good
When
for
I
him, and if
was
not,
first
he can do it the
streaming,
hard way.
you and LD thought you were going
Maybe
to come
that's
up on
what
my
he's about,
panel
Frank.
and sit
Maybe
here.
he's saying, "Look, let's do this one more time."
I'm here to
States.
help you. Oh.
And if they don't come along again, even if they sign something, they don't adhere to it, then that's that. It's the end of them. That possible?
It is possible. And by the way, I would also remind everybody that this has echoes across the world. Xi Jinping is watching this. I think a Chinese invasion of Taiwan, the chances of that happening in
I
the
bought a
on
new
the
flag. I
watch
got
have
one
gone down
outside and I got
dramatically.
the one hanging on
I
the
think
wall.
Putin is going to be very careful now and maybe a little bit more chastened.
So I have two American
in his
flags.
dealing with Ukraine when Donald Trump says stop bombing. I think this is going to have impact in other parts of the world. North Korea, taking note. He's made not just the Middle East, America safer. He's not just made Israel safer. He's made the whole world safer. By what he's done.
You've done a great job, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Keep at it out there.
Well, I've made it as a commentator because I've been on Life, Liberty, and Levin. And now I've been on your radio show.
That's
I
a good
have arrived
interview.
Finally, after all these
Wait a
years
minute.
struggling.
Wait a minute.
I know why you're here,
Mark says
Andy.
I have no audience.
It's not
What do you
because
say
of
to
me.
that?
Well,
It's because of what Mark Levin does.
Maybe she'd have an audience if she came on your show.
That'll never happen. All right. Thank you, brother. You take care of yourself. God bless. He's a good guy. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news. Every day,
You know,
men and women
They bitch that when you utilize features on the fucking computer. I was told to upgrade my system, get rid of the cheap equipment. Your microphone isn't working right. Right, JC? So I upgraded. Then that fucking pissed you off. Then I got better at it. I'm able to sit here with 7 fucking keyboards and just shuffle them like a deck of cards. I got the magic touch. Lucius, why don't you come on up here and run your little fucking suck fuck there, bipolar man? You admitted to being polar. Why are you making a comment about me over at JC's and calling me bipolar? Little boy? Whatever's fucking wrong with you, I think your growth was stunted. Fucking on both ends.
For nearly a decade now, the Mediterranean diet has been voted the best overall diet by U.S. News and World Report. It can benefit your health in a number of ways.
I can have up to 10 people.
Is reducing your risk of cancer. That's in part due to the
Come on, Paul, bring your army.
on the Mediterranean diet. But according to a new study out of Spain, other mechanisms.
I'll take all you motherfuckers on. We can bragging about over his chat and shit. I ain't really been timing out anybody.
Now, you want to see some of these benefits when you're planning.
I don't think anybody's banned.
Put a heavier emphasis on fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, seeds, nuts.
That says no banned guest. So there you go.
All at once, try and make some of these changes slowly. Build on your success. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
While serving in Iraq, our vehicle was hit. They didn't think I was going to make it. I'm Latoya Lucas, and I'm a veteran. I had to learn to live with the scars and invisible.
DAV helps veterans like Latoya get the benefits they've earned.
Yeah, let me say something straight to the heart. Something Alpesh Patel never had, why he fucking is interested in Billy Hayden. It's like having a big brother he never had. Seriously. But for all I know, he could be an only child. I don't know. He hasn't said. But being an only child, that can be rough on a person.
I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2. The braver than you think type.
Yeah, you got to go there. You got to go there legally. Let me see someone go and immigrate to Iran. Might be safe there now. I don't know. I doubt it. They're not even Arab. They're Persian. They're part of Persia. Fucking Turkish and fucking Slovakian. White people.
Life insurance.
That's where white Europeans originated from.
Lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. If you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills?
Europe isn't any different than what America was. When the Europeans came here, they had no idea all the different Indians that were across the land. It wasn't a country. It was wild.
That's ethos.com/liberty.
Those pilgrims didn't just start killing off the Indians when they landed here. They became farmers like the Indians because they had to eat. You got to have food and shelter. You motherfuckers trying to change history. The 1619 project. That fucking failed. How about it, Tammy? Angie, you guys are black. You're so fucking proud of your black heritage, but during Black History Month, you guys wouldn't talk to anybody about it. Just claim that everybody hates you. I got my haters. Let me clear something up. Duh. Well, hey, we're all human.
This is Hakeem Jeffries at a press conference today. This guy is really pathetic. Go ahead.
Donald Trump and his actions, which do not appear to be consistent with the United States Constitution, takes unilateral offensive military action without seeking the approval of the United States Congress.
That's right,
The
Andy.
use of military force, which is offensive in nature, must be approved by the House and the Senate. That's according to the Constitution. It's not optional, Donald. It's not. The framers of the Constitution actually gave Congress the power to declare war for a reason. So the American people, through their elected representatives, would have the opportunity to debate the issue.
Hakeem Jeffries. This dumb fuck.
Well, this guy's a liar. You can read the Constitution. You can read the 1973 War Powers Act. You can do any of those things. He never said a damn word when Biden was firing missiles and Obama was firing missiles and so forth and so on. But now they claim to be using the Constitution. I hope you were able to watch Life, Liberty, and Levin last night, where I explained not only is the War Powers Act...
No, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch him last night.
And presidents have violated all the time because, number one...
In fact, I went to bed early
number
last
two,
night.
many of them have felt it's unconstitutional. Although that said, this presidency has complied with it. Apparently, Chuck Schumer was informed in
That and I
advance.
was trolling Wiggin
And
over at
apparently Hakeem
Acid
Jeffries
Drips
didn't take their call.
in my own place.
He learned about it soon after the mission started, as Secretary Hegseth pointed out. But none of that matters. You're dealing with, well, I wrote the book, The Democrat Party Hates America. You're dealing with elements in our country, very strange people, very weird thought processes, a cabal, a small coalition with the Marxist Islamists and the isolationists. One group keeps claiming they're real MAGA. Another group keeps claiming they're constitutionalists now. Well, they're not real MAGA, and the other ones aren't real constitutionalists. Donald Trump did exactly the right thing, and he did it exactly the right way. And yes, books will be written about this. No question about it. And they should be. Very important. But this is what we're going to defend against now. We're going to have to defend against this. And the radical libertarians, the Tom Masseys and the Rand Pauls, again, they have an outsized voice because the media give it to them. The dumber the Republican, the more kooky the Republican, the more attention they get, because that's how they want to define Republicans. They want MAGA to fail, so they want the public to believe that there's this great split in MAGA. There's no split in MAGA when you have 75, 80%.
Andy, I think I wore Alpesh Patel out. He's got to be sleeping. He's fucking sleeping. I wore him out. I had him fucking laughing all night. Fucking throwing Wiggin.
Prime Minister and the Israeli military.
Gave me a wrench.
Hard words to choke through your...
A manager's wrench. And I timed out Patrick Rowe. He fucking won't go there now.
That's it.
Patrick Rowe, are you in JC's chat?
Of anyone who supports Israel. I want an investigation of him, a criminal investigation of him and his connection to this Chinese billionaire. I'm not making
So Hakeem Jeffries has a connection to a Chinese billionaire, and he's from New Jersey, that Hakeem Jeffries.
If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings.
Nice out.
If you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable, nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Yep, there he is.
ConsumerCellular.com/tax. Plans include $5
As soon as I log in there he is right there. It's fucking Patrick Rowe over at JC's chat crying about me. I'm not even in the chat. I'm not going to post.
From the dullest toll road to
Claire Barton Parkway.
I don't feel like trolling her. Not right now, anyways.
66 in Fairfax County, you're not hitting the brakes on the eastbound side or on the westbound side. 95 northbound of Woodbridge. Right lane is blocked for a crash at the Prince William Park.
Andy, you ever hear the song Matchbox by Albert King? Matchbox by Albert King. You need to listen to that tune there, Mr. Guitarist. Why are you spamming my chat, Andy?
Someone is diagnosed with cancer.
Stop spamming my chat. You got something to say? Say it. Don't be fucking writing one-liners constantly. Spamming away my link. I'm asking nicely.
Should be easy. But if you have undiagnosed COPD, you may find yourself short of breath. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years to your life. If you have symptoms,
But then again, I don't really care.
talk to your doctor and visit COPD.
Ain't hard to fucking post it. All I gotta do is go like that.
We meet patients wherever they live.
Anyways, Andy, go to JC's and tell that fucking piss ant motherfucking Patrick Rowe to come here.
He had a stent placed in his heart, preventing a massive.
Go tell your friend, come on over here.
Hear more stories like Jack's at United Healthcare.
I want to talk to him.
Benefits, features, and devices vary by client area, limitation, exclusions apply. Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's
And go get that
Disease
fucking,
Program
that
is
piss ant motherfucker. Tell him get over here.
about symptoms, diagnosis, and breakthrough research.
I'm not going to JC's. I'll peek in, see who's there. If I want to say something, I will here.
When something happens to your car, you might say,
Yeah, you do.
but what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Just like that.
You should go there just because I asked you to. You should go there and fucking tell that motherfucker to come over here. I want to see you post it in JC's.
Around the clock updates and uncommon understanding.
Listen to this, because this stuff is going on behind.
Me, you're holding his hand before. Go to JC's. Tell that fucker to come over here.
Green lights.
Andy.
School zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Garland Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You know what NEM stands for, right? Never ever manly. Well, all your friends do, Andy. All your little buddies you hang out with are there. Patrick Rowe is one of them. Bullshit. I've seen you in JC's.
Be a champion. Drink responsibly. This message has been brought to you.
Wiggins a chicken shit. That motherfucker doesn't dare come up here on my panel. He knows I'll treat him right. I'm not going to be mean, but if he wants to insult and whatever, right, and not have an intelligent conversation, I'm just going to fucking slug him in the fucking head.
Download the WNAL app to stream us for free.
JC protects him, Andy. She has from the beginning. Oh, he's a fucking piece of work, okay? He's a globalist. He thinks there should be one world government. He's a dumb fucker. He's part of PETA. He's part of Greenpeace. He's a fucking libtard. A faggot.
Deals made with terrorists. So they have
Aren't you,
safer
Nem?
record of killing Americans, Israelis, and anyone else in their way.
Ooh, big time
Refuse
wrench in
to
CNN
voluntarily
chat. You
abandon
Trumpers,
nuclear
you
weapons,
guys are,
lying and
you
deceiving
guys,
every step of the way.
you guys are brainwashed.
Perhaps this is another strategy.
Because
Perhaps
JC's
POTUS
chat
believes
is
this will
nothing
smoke
but
them out.
about hating
And
Trump.
if they do not adhere to some agreement, then all bets are off.
Fuck
They've
you,
already been
JC.
smoked out.
Fuck you, bitch.
And well, whatever is agreed to, include their proxies.
Ignorant
Russia stopped
Canadians. I
supplying
can't stand them.
ground-to-air missile defense system.
Seriously.
Well, China stopped selling the regime fuel for their ballistic
Just
missiles.
like I can't stand
Well,
ignorant
stop building
Englishmen
ballistic
and
missiles.
fucking Scotsmen and Irishmen
We
and
shall
even
see how this plays out.
Americans. You're
Is
an
that fair,
ignorant
Mr. Lee?
motherfucker, Wiggin.
We shall see how this plays out. No criticism. No sabotage.
Alicia does not have
Question.
Apache blood in her.
You know, when you ask
She is
questions
not.
the right
She is
way,
not
they're
Apache.
constructive.
She's
They're
got
constructive.
herself believing that
Begin to think
just
about,
because she
well,
got
what might
dark
the answer be?
hair and kind of light skin or
If we do come
whatever.
up with some arrangement, what should be
Right.
included?
Nah, you don't have any Apache.
It's called being constructive, not sabotage.
You're not Native
Tim Kaine on
American.
Fox
You don't have
News
Native
Sunday.
American.
See, here's the thing. Let me just stop. The people with the most radical positions
A lot of birds out
draw
there.
the press's attention. The people who stand up to the people with the most radical positions also draw the press's attention.
I haven't had dinner yet.
We have Democrats and a handful of Republicans that are saying things about the Constitution that are not true. At best, you can say some of it is debatable. I don't believe it is, but at best, you can say that. They go on these Sunday shows, they go on these TV shows, and they verbally bang the table that the President of the United States has violated the Constitution. No, he has not. And that he ought to be impeached. No, he must not.
Fuck you,
And
Hakeem's
they go to the
Jeffrey.
Republicans, of course, a handful of them, because that makes it bipartisan. You should always be skeptical of the media, with very few exceptions, because they are not about professionalism. They are not about seeking out news and reporting it. They are about creating pseudo events. They're about creating disunity. And more, it's getting worse. Why? Because it's about getting hits. It's about getting clicks. That's how you determine your advertising rates. In the lower tier podcast world, not the greats, the lower tier podcast world, the way you get listeners is by being the biggest nut on the face of the earth. And so we have the war room from a guy who calls everybody a warmonger because he's an idiot. He doesn't even realize how stupid he sounds. We have a congresswoman who thinks she can fundraise by being the dumbest member of the House of Representatives. No, of course, Iran didn't kill any Americans. Or the guy who found a TV platform was officially certified in effect by a bipartisan committee of the House of Representatives of being a Class A pervert. This is quite a crowd. Then we have another one. The first thing that he thinks important today is to praise Qatar. They all hate Israel. They all hate Netanyahu. They all claim to be MAGA. They all stab Donald Trump in the back. Again, you can give an opinion. It can be different. That's okay. We don't walk in lockstep with anybody. Not a spouse. Not Ronald Reagan. Look at what some of the things George Washington did. That's not the point. That's different than being a saboteur. And knowingly being a saboteur, that's a whole different ballgame.
I'm hungry.
There are going to be people who question. Why would you throw a truce out there when the Iranians are so badly losing? This was never about regime change. I didn't talk about regime change. I'm talking about defeating an enemy. Haven't we talked about forever wars, Mr. Producer? So how do you end a forever war? You defeat the enemy once and for all. Don't you? Yes. So suddenly, we have this. I hope this plays out well. It would be great for the world. Trust me on this. It would be great for the world. I believe that. So they bring Thomas Massey on Face the Nation. Why do they bring him on? Why do they bring him on? He and maybe 4, 5, 6 others have a view that's similar to Tim Kaine, similar to Hakeem Jeffries, similar to the man on the moon. And so this is how he gets on Face the Nation. Why? Because they want him on Face the Nation to sabotage him. Let me tell you something,
I've never
America.
seen that bird before.
I've gotten calls from the Washington Post. I've gotten calls from media outlets all over the world.
A whole
want a
flock
quote
of you
from me.
guys. Holy fuck.
Who want a quote from me? They've handed out my phone number, so I've had to block that. Now, why do they want a quote from me? When I sit here, as I have for decades, and I talk about all sorts of things, hot issues, philosophy, economics, they don't want a quote from me. Why do they want a quote from me now? You see, because they want to play this up, this divide and MAGA. They're not interested in what's really going on. You heard Mark Thiessen, who's fantastic. I've talked about this too. This divide doesn't exist, but they want it to exist. And I am not going to contribute to their pseudo news and their ideological agenda. I could talk to the Washington Post and blow out these reprobates. In fact, I'd have a lot of fun doing it, but I'm not going to let them use me in this program that way. They're going to do it anyway, but I'm not going to personally talk to them and contribute to it. One of the reasons I wanted this guy, Colby Hall, who's a founding senior editor, or whatever he is, at Mediocre, is to get him on here and ask him, what are you doing? What is your mission? How do you guys function? What is it that you're doing? What is your purpose? What's with these headlines? But he didn't want to come on. So he trucks along without any challenge.
That motherfucker's ringing my phone.
To challenge all of it. All of it.
What a dumb fuck.
Here's Thomas Massey.
Somebody's calling me, but they know I'm not going to answer.
Margaret Brennan, who is horrendous.
Finally hung
Absolutely horrendous. So you know when you're talking to Margaret Brennan where she's coming from. Go ahead.
The Speaker of the House, who is from your own party, has really rejected this. He says the Article 1 power of Congress really allows for the president to do this. It was a limited, necessary, targeted strike, he says.
Well, he's probably referring to the War Powers Act of 1973, but that's been misinterpreted. There was no imminent threat to the United States, which was what would authorize that. And I think that's peculiar to hear that from
Excuse me, Tommy. It was passed in 1973 over the veto of Richard Nixon, and it was passed because people were angry about the Vietnam War. That's right. And you didn't have the votes. They didn't have the votes to use the power of the purse to defund it until sometime later, and not much later, when Gerald Ford was president. They voted to defund, no more monies for the Vietnam War, supermajorities of both houses, and that's how they ended the Vietnam War. Not with a phony statute that attempts to amend the Constitution and violates separation of power. Let me ask you this, folks. Forget about the name War Powers Act, the Constitution. Forget about it all. Do you think Congress, this Congress, that can't get a budget done, that is split right down the middle, that can't get us our tax cuts, that before Trump couldn't secure the border, do you think that group of 535 members should be in charge of war? Well, that was actually discussed at the Constitutional Convention. We know this because of Madison's notes. And you know what they said? No. They created in this new presidency, they created the commander-in-chief. He's the head of the army. And they had the power of the purse. If you can get enough votes and get it over the veto of a president, you can cut off war. It's not even war he's talking about. There's not a war. What Donald Trump did wasn't a war. If it was a war, it's the fastest World War III in human history. It wasn't a war. It's a military pinpointed operation. The Israelis are fighting a ground war and an air war and a war period we hit their nuclear sites, which is absolutely crucial. So they wave around the War Powers Act. Let me ask you, do you think Congress should have the power to order a president to remove troops from the field, Mr. Minister? Do you think they should have a power to order the president to stop a military engagement in the middle of an engagement in America? And not just affirmatively. The way the statute is written is the president presents Congress with all this information and documents about what's going on. And if Congress doesn't act on the documents by their inaction, he must pull the troops. Do you think that's a good idea, America? Do you think the framers of your Constitution would have agreed to one damn syllable of that? They had just fought a revolution that actually began in 1775. And John Yoo, who's the expert on this, I am one too, but he's the man, said they didn't issue a declaration called the Declaration of Independence until 1776. The Declaration of War Clause in the Constitution is not a declaration to make war. You know how we know that? Because they changed the language at the Constitutional Convention from a declaration to make war to a declaration to declare war, like the Declaration of Independence. That was their experience. The declaration to declare war is not what triggers a war response. It is a statement of the body politic to declare war, not make war. You can only make war with the funding that Congress has provided you. If Congress wants to withdraw the funding, it absolutely has the power to do it. You know why they don't do that? Because they don't have the votes. Well, let's say they did have the votes. President has to sign it, so he vetoes it.
I need a bird book.
Supermajority? Of course not. And so these reprobates who present themselves as the pure Constitution, they're liars. They're damnable liars. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Shopping is hard.
I have a problem.
Anything in my size.
I'm pastel colorblind.
I buy my clothes the same place I buy my
So if a bird has gray on it,
make it easy with Stitch Fix. Just share your size.
it could be
style,
red,
budget,
and I might not notice it, but I do notice the difference in the colors. I have a new bird I've never seen before. It has a black crown, and then the red smoky body, and there was like 6 of them out here. I pulled this curtain open. They're all over the sewer. And there he goes again.
Seriously, it's ours? Is this real?
They were right there on that tray looking at me earlier when I pulled this curtain back.
But what you really need to say is something that can protect your new ride.
Like a good neighbor.
And I don't have a bird book. I don't know what kind of bird it is.
Help you choose the coverage you need.
And I'm too lazy to Google it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I don't like using Google too much. I use it to do this.
There's a whole lot missing here in this.
It's enough.
Every day.
Fuck Google.
News Talk 105.
I don't know. Maybe they're treating me all right.
Making sense of the news.
It's UFC International Fight Week, and while hotels in Vegas may be sold out, there's still one vacancy left. The lightweight title at UFC 317. Grab your own crown with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. A new champ will be crowned for the vacant belt. Plus, the flyweight title is on the line in a high-stakes co-main event. New to DraftKings Sportsbook? Bet just $5 and score $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets.
It just shows how triggered JC is. Sitting there watching Patrick Rowe do that. You're the weird one, JC. You're fucking out there, bitch. It's fucking. I have to agree with Rusty. You're out there. When I seen all this fucking, all the start of this and the shit going on, right? Wiggin and Rusty made that clone of the big fat ass with the fucking, with the black panties. You do, yeah. I bet you got some wide hips, JC. I can just imagine them great big fucking tits that fucking sag.
access to U.S. soccer's
Pancake
27
tits.
national teams, including exclusive interviews, stories, and spotlights. The U.S.
See
Soccer
my flag
Podcast is out
casting
now.
shadow and winds
Wherever you listen to
breezy out.
podcasts.
Hi, I'm Vince Callahan, host of The Vince Show and Vince Podcast. It's a show with an obsessive focus on...
JC wants to make like I'm in love with her and I want her, but it's the other way around.
The Vince Show is redefining news talk with in-depth interviews, live caller...
Oh, I like him when he's nice. Oh, but he's bipolar. Oh, he like you one day and then mad at you next. JC.
WMAL, making sense of the news.
Fuck you, bitch.
Do these three words make you cringe? Calcium.
Wiggin been white knight that fucking bitch since I've known him.
Huge relief.
Even with Rusty.
Health supplement that has shown in laboratory
Rusty
tests
taught you everything you
to
knew.
calcium
Or
oxalate
no.
crystal growth by 99%.
Wiggin.
That's right, 99%.
You couldn't get your stream going without her.
Calcium oxalate protector, and nothing else comes close.
She
to
helped
its
you.
success. In fact,
I watched it.
100%
Part of
satisfaction
it.
guarantee. Kidney Cop is so
I don't know.
good,
Is that the
it's been
original
recommended
Elderverse? Your chat,
recommended
Wiggin?
by doctors and pharmacists, and is winning rave reviews from people all over the country. You can be one of them. Kidney Cop is super affordable. You can purchase affordable kidney Cop
I have
today.
cardinals. Yeah, this isn't a cardinal. This is a bird I've never seen before. Trying to describe, I can't describe the color of it. It's gray, I think, with some white on it. It has big dark eyes and a black beak, and it has looks like it's wearing a toupee.
Sponsored by Calcium Oxalate Labs Inc. Making sense of your world.
Thanks for taking my call.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Greatly appreciated.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of social media. Because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
You work hard. I know you do. Plan for your future. You're worried about what goes on in the economy. You're worried about the value of the paper money, where things going.
Excuse me.
Well, now's the time, I think, to take a serious look at diversification with physical gold, not paper certificates, physical gold. Because gold doesn't depend on Wall Street. In fact, it doesn't depend on anything. It doesn't care what the Fed does. It's a proven store of value. It can add strength, stability, which is key, diversification to your retirement portfolio, as an example. And I think that's important. You see the rise in debt. You see the pressure, which is always no good.
Motherfucker hot.
So this is the real thing.
That motherfucker gets hot. That charger.
With Advantage Gold. They make it easy to learn how to move part of your IRA or your 401k to real gold inside, backed by experience, integrity, and top-rated service. They're the best of the best. I've dealt with others. They're the best of the best. Call now. Here's their number, and they're there right now. 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Protect what you've earned with something you can hold in your hand and trust. 800-900-8000. Don't be afraid to call them. We're not holding a gun to your head, but you can ask them any question you want. They'll explain it to you. 800-900-8000. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional. All right. A lot of people have received not a formal copy, but one of these sort of paper copies of my new book on power. It comes out
There's a European starling out there, and I fuck with him. He knows it's hilarious. It's like having a crow.
where it's discounted. The more people who order, the better the discount. And over time, they will get better. I have sent it to people because I want them to read it and tell me what they think, and I've got to be honest with you, they love it. Well, Mark, that's because of your thing. No, I've had people raise questions. My father, I sent him Liberty and Tyranny. He said, this is going to sell 1 million copies. I said, you're my father. That's why. He said, no. I hadn't heard from him for a week. He said, no, this is going to sell 1 million copies. I won't tell you which other book, which came soon thereafter. Not right at. I said, it's a really great book. Yeah. It's a tough book, Mark. I know what he meant. It's a scholarly book. It's a substantive book. It's an intelligent book. It's a readable book. And as you go through it, you're probably going to turn the corners of the page down. You'll probably take a yellow marker or a pen and mark things that are in the book. I have a very good friend who is a very famous columnist who's been reading it and said it's absolutely a killer. And this is a guy who's not going to write it up because he doesn't promote them in his columns. But coming from him, that was very much appreciated. So if you get a minute, I know there's a lot swirling around and so forth and so on, but at some point you got to find a little safe haven in your life each day. Take a little time over to Amazon.com and order your pre-order copy of On Power. Because I really believe in it. There's some books I love more than others. Tom Massey again.
Broccoli.
Deface the nation. Cut a dough.
You heard from Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader, a senator, say it was a bad week for the isolationists. He was talking about Tucker Carlson and he was talking about Steve Bannon. Do you think?
Oh, that hurts. I had to be honest. To have Mitch McConnell say that is not exactly what I'm looking for, Mr. Producer. But it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Making a choice here, or is he trying to have it both ways? Both saying, I'm going to please the hawks of the party by bombing, but then I'm going to say I want a peace deal.
If you're watching,
and make
Alicia.
the isolationists happy by saying, I'm not committing to anything more than one and done.
I know it turns you on when I
It was a
eat.
good week for the neocons in the military-industrial complex who want war.
I'm so sick of this communist claptrap coming out of the left-wing libertarians, the other isolationist thugs. The neocons and the military-industrial project. I would ask the people in the military, you appreciate this? Who the hell do they think built those bombers, Mr. Producer? Who the hell do they think built those bombs? Who the hell do they think built those nuclear submarines and those ships and those jets? Who the hell do they think built that? Red-blooded Americans. They just dismiss it. The military-industrial complex. Thank God we have the military we do, the industry we do, the patriots we do, unlike this little craphead and the others. I'll be right back.
Making sense of your world. I don't know where to begin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Thanks for taking the call.
Making sense of the news.
It's UFC International Fight Week, and while hotels in Vegas may be sold out, there's still one vacancy left. The lightweight title at UFC 317. Grab your own crown with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. A new champ will be crowned for this vacant title. Plus, the flyweight title is on the line in a high-stakes co-main event. New to DraftKings Sportsbook, bet just $5 and score $106 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-OPEN-Y or text OPEN-Y 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
We are the smarter than you look type. I've had type 1 diabetes since I was 2. The braver than you think type.
I have to take insulin shots every single day.
The type that will stop at nothing.
No more blood sugar tests.
Absolutely nothing. No more complications.
Orange creamsicle.
Type 1.
Support JDRF's life-changing research, and one day you'll say, I helped turn type 1 into type 9. Join us now at jdrf.org.
Macy's lowest prices of the summer on furniture and mattresses are here.
Use a plate.
Great July 4th deals now.
When I was growing up, we weren't allowed to eat in the living room.
$19.99. Customer favorites like the Bradley sectional now $21.79 and 20 to 65% off top mattress brands like Sealy. And with Macy's white glove delivery, we'll set it all up and whisk away all that packaging too. But hurry in, these summer deals are going on now at Macy's. Savings are already reduced.
That's right.
Exclusions apply.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington. A Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
to the table.
Mom and Dad made me sit between JC and Jill at the dinner table.
President Trump announced in his words on Truth Social the complete and total ceasefire between Iran and Israel, each ending hostility over 12-hour periods. The president said that joint pause will consider the war over. Vice President J.D. Vance told Fox's Brett Baer this shows benefits for both sides, starting with Israel.
They've helped us destroy the Iranian nuclear program. They've also destroyed
Now my lips
the
are sticky.
missile capability of Iran that threatened the country of Israel. For the Iranians, I think
Time
this
is it?
an opportunity to actually
Wow.
pursue the path of peace.
President Trump says this finishes what he now calls the 12-day war, which he adds could have lasted for years.
Fox's Bernard Scott. House Speaker Mike Johnson called the news of the ceasefire incredible.
Haven't had to use it.
Coming just hours after Iran took aim at a U.S. military base in Qatar.
Senior Qatar
Daughter of truth.
said its military shot down 18 out of 19 missiles fired from Iran in 2 waves.
Need a hitman? I'll come take them flies out for you.
Casualties or significant damage. The skies over Doha lit up with the Patriot interceptors.
Fox's Jeff Griffin at Pentagon. The president is still scheduled to travel to The Hague tomorrow for the NATO summit.
The president is still concerned about oil prices and roughly 20% of the world's oil and natural gas shipments getting stuck if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz. So far, 22 of 32 NATO member states paid
Straits of
2%
Hormuz.
GDP, as expected, but the president plans to pressure them to start spending 5%.
Fox's Peter Ducey at The Hague. Spain has said it will not increase its defense spending. America is listening to Fox News.
It's windy outside.
I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. DC Mayor Muriel Bowser says the city's deploying what she calls situationally appropriate strategies as the U.S. braces for retaliation from Iran in response to the U.S. attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities. She has this message for concerned residents.
We don't have any specific threats to the district, but our enforcement and intelligence officials are working with the federal government.
She says they're at a heightened level of communication and awareness. Being in a national mall on a sweltering day can be brutal, and the National Park Service is trying to keep people safe. The Washington Monument is closed today. It will be closed tomorrow due to the extreme heat warning. That warning continues through 9 tonight, and it's back in place tomorrow morning at 11, with feels like temps as high as 110. Also, Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center is scrambling to find short-term fosters for the animals in its care. After mechanical issues knocked out the shelter's AC today, repairs are underway. And Prince William County homeowners adjacent to the planned Digital Gateway project are getting their days in court.
The judge in the trial has made 2 decisions so far, both favoring the homeowners. The first denying a defense motion from the data center developers to toss the case altogether. The second ruling that the plaintiff
Lemon bar.
standing, given that the homeowners live in close proximity to the proposed data center project. Opponents of the gateway want the 2023 approval by the former supervisors tossed. If the judge agrees, the decision would go back to the newly elected, less data center friendly board. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Traffic Center.
DC 295 northbound is slowed from Pennsylvania Avenue to East Capitol Street. 395 northbound is stop and go between 14th Street and the 3rd Street tunnel. Maryland side of the Beltway, no delays in Prince George's County or Montgomery. In Virginia, on the outer loop of the Beltway, it's jammed up in Alexandria between Van Dorn Street and the Wilson Bridge. In southbound 95 in Morton, stop and go between the Morton exit and 123. And now for
When I was a kid, it was a board and ice cream plant right by the railroad tracks. Farmers would bring their milk in the big metal milk jugs there. Those days are over with.
The RegeneGrow program at Dallas Men's Health is for men across the country who are looking for that next level of sexual satisfaction.
It was also a feed mill. And about 5 years ago, it caught on fire, one of the biggest fires we've had in the village. Great big old barn stretched along railroad tracks. Gone.
10 employees or 10,000. You're the Hartford. And no matter what
Burned all night.
big employee benefits because their business is just the right size for us. Learn more at thehartford.com.
I hope them birds come back.
Business now. LegalZoom is here to help. Whether you're registering as an LLC or keeping a company, and the Legal Hand turn to #1 online legal services provider who's helped launch over 4 million businesses like yours.
I just vacuumed.
Because life is more legal than you think. LegalZoom provides access to independent attorneys and self-service tools. LegalZoom is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice. Visit LegalZoom.com.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
Once again, make contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. You know, the hostages are still being held, still being tortured and starved to death. It's as if everybody's forgotten about them. It would be nice if there was a footnote somewhere in the media, just somewhere reminding us of what the Iranians and Hamas have done and that these people are still there. I mean, this war's been fought since October 7th by the Israelis. Even when Biden was president, trying to undermine their great prime minister and their IDF, but they wouldn't allow themselves to be undermined, would they? Despite all the trash talk about Netanyahu, President of the United States admires him and is a very close friend of his. How do I know? Because the president told me. And so when you have sperm whales like Bannon over there at the war room, tough guy, war room. Really, the appeasement room would be better. Can we take a short break, Mr. Producer, even though this is real early? Is that possible? Can we do that? All right, I'll wait. I'll wait and call this gentleman back. No, but you said we can't. Well, I don't want to screw the audience out there and everybody else. But I want you to know this. This is ground zero for defending this president. This is ground zero for fighting them on the War Powers Act. And I remain open-minded to what the president is doing. Open-minded. A skeptic, but open-minded. I'm being honest with you. And I hope some of the things I'm raising will be taken into consideration. You see the difference? He's defied us. He screwed us. He stabbed us in the back. I'm never going to support him again. You didn't hear that out of my mouth. Look, you know what's possible? You ready? Donald Trump, he's like way up here. I have my hand way up in the sky. Way up here. I think he can run circles around anybody. And I don't exclude myself. I think his mind is like 10 steps ahead of everybody. And see, I accept that, and I realize that. And I admire it. I certainly do. I just want to make that abundantly clear. And here's the other thing. I trust the man. Again, unlike the isolationists, I trust the man. We have this guy, Ro, how do you pronounce it? Kana, who pretends to be a moderate, actually went to Temple Law School as I did. I don't know him. He's younger. Apparently, he thought there were greener pastures in California. And he's elected from there, and he pretends to be a moderate. He's a kook. And so see, all the Democrats are lining up here. Cut 10, go.
Well, first of all, the strikes were unconstitutional. We can't just go bomb in other country in Iran without congressional authorization.
I hate to wake you up, Congressman, but yes, you can. You actually can. Now, people may not like it, so try and amend the Constitution. Go ahead. People may not like it, but it is what it is. You know what people won't like? If Congress is involved in decisions in making war, which the framers said, no way. And we're hit, and we're hit, and we're hit again. And these a-holes, maybe they're on vacation, or these a-holes, maybe they're having an affair on the side, you know, or maybe they're paying for underage prostitutes, like one of our great Republicans was. Remember that, Mr. Producer? Or they're not even prostitutes. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Very, very busy. Maybe they're like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Make sure you add an E to the end. That offends her a lot. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who spends her life on the internet. Yeah. But you can't run a country that way. And no president has agreed to that. No court will agree to it. These are phonies. These are frauds. So every one of these people you hear, whether they're a Democrat or Republican, we just had an incredibly successful military operation, extremely limited in scope, extraordinarily powerful in scope, to stop an Islamic Nazi regime from getting nuclear weapons, which they were actually building and 2 weeks away from having. And they talk about the War Powers Act and impeachment. And that Trump isn't following the Constitution. They're liars. And they have their talking points. They're liars. Let them go to court. Let them sue them. Go to the Supreme Court. See what they say. They won't use the power of the purse because they can't get enough votes. They won't amend the Constitution because they can't get enough votes. They're undermining our military. Our military just carried this out, and these guys are going, what they were unconstitutional. That's right. You're rounding up illegal aliens. Violent illegal aliens. Oh, he's a dictator. That's illegal. He can't use the National Guard. He certainly can, and he did, and the court upheld it. You got to get out of these lower courts. Oh, you can't. So you can't bring Islamo-Nazi students who are not citizens. You can't deport them. Since when? Since when? You got this guy Garcia. He beats his wife. He's MS-13. He's human trafficking. You know what a federal Biden judge or magistrate just did? You must release him. Insane. So they believe Joe Biden could do anything he wants, even though he doesn't have his marbles.
It hurts to laugh.
He can defy Supreme Court rulings. He can move hundreds of billions of dollars around. He can shoot missiles. But Donald Trump comes in, follows the Constitution, and this is what we get. All right, we're going to take an early break. I think we can now. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the new.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Participating U.S. Wendy's hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co. LLC. Used with permission.
Life is more legal than you think, and LegalZoom is here to help. From setting up a will to secure your family's future, to taking the next step with your business and registering as an LLC, or sorting the permits to legally run it from home. Or maybe not. When you need a legal hand, turn to LegalZoom. Visit LegalZoom.com. LegalZoom provides access to independent attorneys and self-service tools. LegalZoom is not a law firm and does not provide legal advice. Visit LegalZoom.com.
Support American-made tariff-free clothing with American Giant. They aren't affected by tariffs because their clothing products never left the U.S. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code STAPLE20 at American-Giant.com.
Obama bombed 8 Muslim countries. They won't Google that and talk about that. They won't talk about Obama. They don't want to offend certain people.
Aura helps.
But he bombed 8 months, and he got Osama bin Laden.
And keeps it off. It also monitors
Killed a fellow Muslim.
protects your devices.
That's what they do. They'll kill each other if they think they need to.
At aura.com/listen. That's AURA.com/listen.
Death is the only thing these people know. And it's not the real Iranians. Now, those people live in bondage, fear. They don't have freedom. There's no women rights in Iran. And they're not Arab. They're Persian.
8079.
Dumb fucks.
Available online. Samaritan is an affirmative action equal opportunity employer.
It's sad because that's a beautiful part of Europe.
Are encouraged to apply.
Welcome back, summer, or as we here at Good Humor like to call it, free hand season. Think about it. Playing catch, watering the lawn, waving to your neighbor from the porch, all designed to keep one hand free for the ultimate summer activity. Enjoying a Good Humor frozen treat, whether you go for the crumb coating of strawberry shortcake or a creamy yet refreshing creamsicle bar.
Patrick Rowe keeps hiding.
Humor, the original
Wants
ice
me to
cream
chase
truck
him
flavor,
everywhere.
available at a grocery store near you.
Hey, Patrick, I removed your comments over at Acid Trips chat.
If you want to help preserve what you've built, now's the time to take a serious look at physical gold. Gold doesn't depend on Wall Street. It doesn't care what the Fed does. It's a proven store of value that can add strength, stability, and security to your retirement money. With all the uncertainty out there, rising debt, rising costs, and so forth, you need something real. That's why I recommend Advantage Gold. They make it easy to learn how to move part of your IRA or 401k into real gold and silver, backed by experience, integrity, and top-rated service. Call right now, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Protect what you've earned with something you can hold in your hand and trust in your heart. Call right now, 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. It's never too late to make your portfolio stronger, smarter, and more secure. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Making sense of your world. There are a lot of things that really tick me off. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of mainstream media. Because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
About this. We took an early break. I'm not going to explain why. But I feel a little bit more comfortable about this. Is that okay to say, Mr. Producer? Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to get into any of that. I don't do that. You know, I watch TV. I spoke to Donald Trump this morning. I spoke to this. I spoke to that. I don't get into that. I'm not going to get into it. All I can say is I feel a little better. Obviously, Israel's at war with Iran, a nation whose leaders have vowed to wipe Israel and even the United States off the map. Well, guess what? They're getting wiped off the map, and they just lost their nuclear weapons. Wow. But right now, they have these big damn ballistic missiles that are flying into Israel. It's horrible. The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is on the ground, preparing large-scale distributions of life-saving food, first aid, and emergency kits, especially to Israel's most vulnerable people, the sick, the elderly, children, and families in great need. The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is also making sure that hospitals, emergency rooms, shelters are fully stocked with critical and life-saving medical supplies. The fellowship needs your most generous gift today, folks, to make this work possible. They are overwhelmed like everybody else. And now's the time to stand for the Holy Land. So to rush your gift, which by the way is tax deductible, call 844-866-IFCJ. That's 844-866-IFCJ. 844-866-IFCJ. We're online at levinforthefellowship.org, Levin for thefellowship.org. We have our friend Lee Smith with us, truly one of the great writers and thinkers over there at Tablet and elsewhere. Lee Smith, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well, Mark. Thanks so much for inviting me to speak with you tonight.
It's my pleasure. You wrote a piece today in the tablet. I want you to explain to the American people why you wrote it and what your points are.
Well, I think the most important point to make is that the quasi-MAGA influencers, I don't know how else to describe them. I know that you have many choice words for them, Mark.
Yes, and they deserve every damn one of them. God, I'm sorry.
100%. No, I agree. The pseudo-MAGA influencers there, what I say is it's just Barack Obama in a skin suit. They're pushing for the exact same pro-Iran policies. They're anti-Israel. And I don't know if they understand the details of this policy, but what it is it's an anti-America policy. That's Iran's number one target. We've been, as the greatest nation in the history of the world, we've been the major power in the Persian Gulf, the Arabian Gulf, or whatever you want to call it, since 1945, when FDR met with the founder of the modern Saudi state, Ibn Saud. The arrangement has been for the United States to protect the oil that the Saudis pump. That makes us the deciding power there. What the Iranians want to do is drive us out. They want to weaken and impoverish America. That's a very big deal. The way they see Israel, no doubt, it is the regime that today embodies anti-Semitism. They hate Israel. They hate Jews. The big target, though, is to destroy, to weaken at least the United States, to push us out of the Gulf, to limit our ability to do anything. They can commit terror attacks here. They can close the Straits of Hormuz, as they've been threatening to. They can't do that without the bomb. But that's the real point, and that's what Obama was doing. He wasn't just looking to hurt Israel. He was looking to cripple the United States. And that's what these pseudo-MAGA influencers are doing as well. They're pushing the exact same policy as Barack Obama pushed.
Do you think this will ever catch up with them? I mean, I have to be honest with you. I'm going to keep a light shine on these people till death do us part. And because I think they're dangerous going forward. They're dangerous in the midterm elections. They're dangerous in the next presidential election because their ideology is, as you say, Barack Obama. I mean, you're talking Bernie Sanders and Tlaib. They sound exactly like each other, do they not?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one difference is this. I think the big difference is that these people are, we see them continue to go on social media and on their podcasts. They continue to rip into President Trump and President Trump's policy, in spite of the fact that Donald Trump has been hugely successful in the attacks, and not only in the U.S. attacks, but his support of Israel, which is, we saw Donald Trump speaking the other night on Saturday night after the attacks, and he himself was virtually choked up about the partnership, the alliance between the U.S. and Israel, and getting important things done for the peace and prosperity of the United States and for Israel and for the security of the world. So, these people, again, they continue to go after President Trump, and they're going to keep doing it. I don't see a way out of it. And it struck me finally, they're happy with it because they're losers. They're happy being on the losing side. And what's most important for them is to have a platform to air their grievance, their self-pity, and their resentment. We've had plenty of figures like this before in American politics, and many of them shared those views. I think they're happy there. So, no, I don't see any reversal.
And what's strange about this particular group is they actually have the history of the 1930s to look at. You know, the people in the 1930s didn't have a whole lot of history to look at. They had some. But they had the history to look at it. And Charles Lindbergh, as bad as he was, he turned out to be quite honorable. He apologized. He was leading the war bond effort, things of that sort. These people don't strike me as honorable.
They don't read about that.
No, they don't.
They don't learn about that shit. I did long time ago. Charles Lindbergh. That's a must-read biography, that guy.
Look at the societies who took the dog.
You have to read about him.
This obsessive Jew hatred. All Jew hatred is obsessive. But if you look at them, we're talking about what? We're talking about 19th century Russia. We're talking about 20th century Germany. We're talking about the Arab states. We're talking about the Islamic Republic of Iran. None of these societies have any success. All of these societies.
I'm in troll mode right now.
Major losers, and that's why I keep coming back to this idea that they're losers, and that's where they're most comfortable losing. I think that they probably misunderstood Donald Trump from the beginning. I think they probably grafted their resentments onto him and believed that's who he was, and they couldn't have been more wrong. This is a man who loves America, who loves American strength, and who loves winning. Let's remember what Donald Trump said in 2015. He wasn't talking about, no more wars, no endless wars. He said, I'm tired of losing wars. I'm tired of us losing trade deals. I'm tired of us losing. We're winners. And that's Donald Trump's whole thing. And you saw what happened. You all saw what happened this weekend. Donald Trump wants to win for America, and he wants to win for American allies, and he chooses our alliances carefully. He picks other winners like Benjamin Netanyahu and Ron Dermer. Ambassador Minister Dermer deserves an awful lot of credit too. Donald Trump picks winners on behalf of the United States.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. He wants to win for America. And he is a winner, right? I mean, can you imagine if Kamala Harris had been elected? What would it look like there? I mean, what would it look like that? I mean, for sure, Iran would get nuclear weapons. And for sure, this country would be much less safe in the rest of the world as well. But you mentioned, and rightly so, Obama, but on something this crucial, they say, we agree with Trump on everything but this. But isn't but this like at the top of the list? Yeah. That is the security of the nation from nuclear weapons?
I mean, this to me is the other side of open borders. I mean, it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. If you let a regime, if you let an insane third world regime have nuclear weapons, it's the same thing as opening your borders to third world lunatics. And that's what's happening. It's part of the same thing. And Donald Trump says, I love America. I'm going to protect America. If you're going to protect our borders, then you have to protect our interests. And as Donald Trump understands, protect our interests across the world too. And that's what he's doing. I mean, I don't understand what some of these, what some of these folks think. But Donald Trump is going to, that Donald Trump is going to survive the assassination attempt at Butler. He's going to survive that to let Iran break out and build nuclear bombs. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. There's no indication that was ever what Donald Trump was going to do.
All right, my friend. If people want to find you or read this, where do they go?
We'll write the tablet. I believe it's on the front page. And Mark, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to take the opportunity. We have a print magazine now at Tablet, which is just a
I get it. I love magazine. It. Yeah,
I'm so glad, and I hope that people will subscribe. It's just a beautiful thing to hold in your hand. And Mark, with all the stuff that's going on, all the nuttiness that's going on online, I mean, Tablet is going back to Foundation. It's a print publication. We're still online as well. I don't want people to get disheartened about that, but and that's where I write. I write at Tablet, so I hope people will.
Tablet is a fantastic site, whether online or you get the magazine in hand or both. And it is a beautiful magazine. Some of the smartest writers in the country, like Lee Smith, who you just heard. I encourage you to grab it. Lee, take care of yourself, brother. We'll be right back.
WMAL.
Pure Talk My Wireless Company, a veteran-led company, believes every man and woman who has faithfully served this country deserves to proudly fly an American flag that was made in America. That's why Pure Talk is on a mission to give an allegiance flag, the highest quality American flag ever, to 1,000 U.S. veterans in time for the patriotic holidays. Switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk today. Know that you're supporting a company that will be providing these high-quality flags made in America to deserving veterans. With plans from just $25 a month for unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data, you can enjoy America's most dependable 5G network while cutting your cell phone bill, in many cases, in half. The average Pure Talk family saves over $1,000 a year. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword Mark Levin, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will get you switched hassle-free in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250 and say Mark Levin to switch to a wireless company that supports our veterans. Switch to Pure Talk.
Get a competitive edge in the workforce. Earn your degree from Jefferson Community College, where a variety of online offerings, in-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today and choose the path to unlocking your potential. Choose Jefferson. Fall semester begins August 25th. Visit sunyjefferson.edu to apply. Jefferson Community College. Your future starts here.
Were you uninvited to game night? Do you play board games with the ferocious intensity of an iron-fisted oligarch? Have friends left game night asking, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Sleeping hot this summer? Try a Tempur-Pedic with advanced cooling at Mattress Firm's July 4th sale. Save $500 on Tempur-Breeze and get a $300 instant gift. If matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers, and sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details. And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Did your last vacation house for the whole crew leave you wishing there was a better way to stay together? Like with bedrooms that are all great, so everyone thinks they got the best room?
Whoa, this is amazing.
A full bathroom in every bedroom?
Hey, a bathroom.
A beach with a clear bay big enough for swimming, rope swinging, and even kayaking? All next door to Walt Disney World? Next trip, share a house at Evermore Orlando Resort. You won't believe what you resorted to before.
You want to grow your business. I mean, who doesn't? Constant Contact's marketing platform makes marketing way easier and way more effective, even if you know nothing about marketing. You can easily create email, text, social, events, and digital campaigns in just a few clicks. It's why over 500,000 business owners trust Constant Contact for their digital marketing needs. Constant Contact, helping the small stand tall. Get 25% off all plans for the first 3 months when you go to ConstantContact.com and use code LISTEN25 at checkout. ConstantContact.com with code LISTEN25.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Get a competitive edge in the workforce. Earn your degree from Jefferson Community College, where a variety of online offerings, in-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today and choose the path to unlocking your potential. Choose Jefferson. Fall semester begins August 25th. Visit sunyjefferson.edu to apply. Jefferson Community College. Your future starts here.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers, and sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details. And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Making sense of your world.
Greatly appreciated.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I love listening to you.
Making sense of the news. WMAL's Vince Colonnades. Weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
My mother-in-law watched Perry Mason religiously, read his books and everything.
The funny thing here, Mr. Producer will tell you, that sometimes I'm writing things and I get disrupted and I post them without adding things that I mean to add. Isn't that right, Rich? I'll say, what the hell? It's just that you're doing so many things and distractions and so forth. But I want to make something clear here. I just added it to my post if I can find the damn thing. Stick with me, America. Stick with me. I'm talking to you. I don't care about the media. Here's my post. The enemy whose military has been defeated by the Israelis and whose nuclear program has been destroyed by our president and military survives, at least for now. We shall see how things unfold now. I have been and remain highly skeptical of deals made with terrorists who have a half-century record of killing Americans, Israelis, and anyone else in their way and refuse to voluntarily abandon their nuclear weapons, lying and deceiving every step of the way. Perhaps this is another POTUS strategy. Perhaps POTUS believes this will smoke them out, and if they do not adhere to the ceasefire terms or some agreement, then all bets are off. They've already been smoked out, and will whatever is agreed to include their proxies. Will Russia stop supplying ground-to-air missile defense systems? Will China stop selling the regime fuel for their ballistic missiles? Will they stop building ballistic missiles? My prediction, based on all this and more, is that the terrorist regime's belief system and mindset will not be changed at all. Just its tactics, maybe. And again, we shall see how this plays out. And now, I've added, to be absolutely clear, as I didn't finish my post, that President Trump is to be trusted. He wants to win for America, and his record is stellar. I also trust that issues I mentioned here will be part of the process. Plus, Prime Minister Netanyahu has signed on. I mean, that's a big deal, don't you think, Rich? Let's see how it goes. I'm rooting for them. So just to be crystal clear, let's see here. There's something else I wanted to read to you. Oh, here it is. I think. Stick with me, folks. All right, there we have it. There have been conflicting reports. A senior Iranian official has said, yes, it's true. A senior Iranian official, I think, told CNN, but one of the reprobate outfits, that it's not correct. I checked, it is correct. And in fact, this is where they are. Now, look, anything can change in 10 minutes. All right? Anything can change in 10 minutes. I think they know that. I think the Israelis know it. The president knows it, and so forth. But it is true that this is out there. It is true that the Iranians want a deal. It is true that the Israelis said, okay, let's see what it looks like, and that the president is the maestro. And so in that post, I've raised a number of issues that I think are very pertinent and that I hope will be taken into consideration. But then again, we're talking about a remarkable man, this president. That's what I wanted to emphasize, and that's why I wrote what I wrote, as well as the fact that Bibi Netanyahu is not going to in any way endanger his country and all the accomplishments they made. So you got Trump, you got Netanyahu, and then you have the enemy. I suspect if the enemy does what the enemy is likely to do at some point, then I hope all this is out the window. But I think I've also raised what I think are very important points related to this. I mean, you got the Chinese, you got the Russians, you've got the proxies. So that's, an Iranian, there's things coming in with the transom here. Reports of an Iranian official going on CNN claiming they never got ceasefire orders. That's interesting. We will see. We will see. I read the president's post. There's certain specific things that need to be done. I suspect if they're not done, then all bets are off. There is always that, as far as I can tell. All right, let's get back to this. Bernie Sanders, a man who hates America, a man who is a Stalinist, has worshipped Stalin, a Marxist Islamist, self-hating Jew, the worst of the worst. You have to scrape him off the bottom of your shoe, and he's not the only one. So Donald Trump, taking out the enemy's nuclear sites. Cut 9, go.
And I want to tell you something.
Whoa. Doesn't this sound like one of these phony massive demonstrations by the Islamists in Iran? Not the good Persians. I'm talking about the jihadist Islamists. When you hear them chanting like this, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's start at the top. Go.
And I want to tell you something. Not only is this news that I've just heard this second alarming that all of you have just heard, but it is so grossly unconstitutional. All of
What
you
a
know.
drama queen, you damn bastard. That's what you are. It's so grossly unconstitutional. So this guy wants a civil war. You know, the Democrats want a civil war, and they want a violent civil war. Let's be honest. They see what goes on in L.A., and they attack ICE, the National Guard, the Marines, the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of DHS, the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States. That's what they do. They want it. They live by this. Let's just be honest about it. The importation of illegal aliens with criminal records, they don't even want them deported. Well, that's pretty bizarre, don't you think? Not for them. Light on sentences, judges. No prosecutors. I mean, just look at the list. Now, look, I have Adam Schiff here. I've got Jim Hines, Democrat from Connecticut, is apparently the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. You have to actually have no intelligence to be the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. So Marco Rubio is on Face the Nation with this Margaret Brennan, who I despise. I don't know. They go on these shows and they debate them, and some of them do well and some of them don't. Why would Marco Rubio go on that show and not my show, Mr. When's the last time we asked her? Been a while, right? Let's put this to the test. Let's invite Marco Rubio on the program anytime this week, any day, in any of the 3 hours. Let's see what happens. I'll let you know, America. But here he is. By the way, I admire what he's been doing. Here we have Marco Rubio with Margaret Brennan on Deface the Nation. Cut 14, go.
Let me follow up on a phrase you just word, weaponization ambitions. Are you saying there that the United States did not see intelligence that the Supreme Leader had ordered weaponization?
That's irrelevant. I think that question being asked in the media, that's an irrelevant question.
No, that is the key point in U.S. intelligence assessment. You know that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it was.
No, it's not.
The political decision had not
I know that better than you know that.
Why don't you let him answer the damn question? You bring in the guest. He's the Secretary of State. He's sitting at the table. He knows what the hell he's talking about. And all you do is you bluster. Let's start at the top again, Mr. Producer. Go ahead.
Let me follow up on a phrase you just word, weaponization ambitions. Are you saying there that the United States did not see intelligence that the Supreme Leader had ordered weaponization?
That's irrelevant. I think that question being asked in the media, that's an irrelevant question.
No, that is the key point in U.S. intelligence assessment. You know that.
No, it's not.
Yes, it was.
No, it's not.
The political decision had not
I know that better than you know that, and I know that that's not the case.
But I'm asking you whether the order was given.
And the people who say that, it doesn't matter if the order was given. They have everything they need to build nuclear weapons. Why would you bury things in a mountain 300 feet under the ground?
Right.
Why would you bury why do they have 60% enriched uranium?
Here's what she's saying. Do you have evidence that he ordered it? So Rubio said, do I have evidence that he's ordered? You see that mountain over there? You see what's over there? What do you think's going on in there? We know what's going on in there. See that other mountain over there? We know what's going on over there. See that one over there? We know what's good. But did he order it? Now, come on, America. Is that not sick? Go ahead.
Sure. The only countries in the world that have uranium at 60% are countries that have nuclear weapons. Because they can quickly make it 90. They have all the elements. They have. Why do they have a space program? Is Iran going to go to the moon? No, they're trying to build an ICBM.
No, but
so
that's
they
a
can
question.
put a
That's a
warhead
question.
on it.
That's a question of intent, and you know, in the intelligence assessment, that it was that Iran wanted to be a threshold
How do you
state
know
and
what the
use this
intelligence
leverage.
assessment says?
I'm talking about
what the
public
intelligence assessment
March
says?
assessment, and that's why I was asking you if you know something more from
but
March.
that's also
if
an
an order
inaccurate
was
representation
given.
of it. that's an accurate representation of it. That's not how intelligence is read. That's not how intelligence is used. Here's what the whole world knows. Now, forget about intelligence.
Can we slow down a minute here? Does this sound like a host who wants to get information from the Secretary of State about what actually took place? Does it? Does it? Does it sound like an a-hole who keeps interrupting him and trying to project her views on him? But why did she invite him? This is why I wonder why these guys go to these, but not just him. Maybe it's worthwhile. Maybe the press people have a reason for this, but my view is these people need to be frozen out. Go ahead.
They are enriching uranium well beyond anything you need for a civil nuclear program. So why would you enrich uranium at 60%?
Right.
If you don't intend to one day use it to take it to 90 and build a weapon? Right. Why are you developing ICBMs? Why do you have 8,000 short-range missiles and 2,000 to 3,000 long mid-range missiles that you continue to develop? Why do you do all these things? They have everything they need for a nuclear weapon. They have the delivery mechanisms. They have the enrichment capability. They have the highly...
You asked him a question. Now he's giving you like the Rain Man, and that's good. Point by point by point by point. Okay. She's in a hurry. I don't know what's going on. Is she going to the green room to get some donuts? I don't know. She got no patience. My wife says about me, honey, you don't have any patience. It's true. But then again, this Margaret Brennan, if that is her name, she has no patience. You're interrupting your guest. That's where Bernie Sanders, this is wholly ungrossly unconstitutional. Shut up, old man. Let's slip in one more, Mr. Producer. John Fetterman on Fox Today. I like this guy. He's a good guy. Cut 15, go.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, I'm sure. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people in my party that are going to disagree with the strike in Iran. And I actually support that. I've been always calling for that thing. I think it was entirely appropriate. And again, there might be votes on that. So for me, that's not a war. That was a very limited military exercise, and it struck that. And then that's where we're at. So really, it really wasn't about unconstitutional or it's anything like that. It was like a very, very limited military engagement, and then it took them out, damaged them severely.
Yeah. You know, this is a good man. I don't agree with him on a lot, domestic policy, but he's what Democrats used to be. He's relatively moderate on the big issues. And that's the best we can get from a Democrat, and he's really good. And of course, they want to destroy him. He sounds a lot smarter than Bannon or Catarles or MTG, no IQ. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses. Learn about the United States Constitution, the stories in the book of Genesis, the rise and fall of the Roman Republic, the history of the ancient Christian church with Hillsdale College's free online courses. Hillsdale recently launched a new course, Understanding Capitalism, that I've been watching. And I've told you about this course. 7 lectures, the role of profit and loss, how human behavior and human nature plays a role in our economic system, why capitalism depends on private property rights, the rule of law, and above all, freedom, and why capitalism is ultimately a system that encourages morality rather than undermines it. Yeah, that's right. Go right to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll. That's LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. There's no cost. It's easy to get started. That's levinforhillsdale.com to register for free. LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the new.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com. The used car leader.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details. And you need LifeLock because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second, If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get a competitive edge in the workforce. Earn your degree from Jefferson Community College, where a variety of online offerings, in-person and hybrid formats, along with 8 and 15-week classes, allow for the most flexible schedules. Apply today and choose the path to unlocking your potential. Choose Jefferson. Fall semester begins August 25th. Visit sunyjefferson.edu to apply. Jefferson Community College. Your future starts here.
It's time for Trash Day Nose Yoga with Hefty. Let's transform stinky scenarios with a joyful scent of Fabuloso. Inhale. You forgot to empty your kid's lunchbox. Exhale. A field of lavender. Inhale. Stinky leftovers. Exhale. Watermelon in the summer. That's the power of Hefty Ultra Strong Trash Bags with Fabuloso.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want, like all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot, and turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX. Beautiful. Low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Lowe's knows how to help you save. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Plus, get an additional 10% off when you buy 2 or 3 select major appliances. And when you buy 4 or more, you'll save an additional 20%. Find the right appliances and features that fit your kitchen's unique needs and style. Shop Whirlpool 4th of July deals at Lowe's. Valid through 7/9. See Lowe's.com for details. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Selection varies by location.
Making sense of your world.
I agree with everything you're saying.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
My heart just breaks for what's going on.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the border. Because laws either matter or they don't. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Folks, this July 4th, as we honor American grit and independence, Tax Network USA is helping you take back control of your financial future. Right now, they're offering 10% off all services through Independence Day. If you missed the April 15th deadline or you're buried in back taxes, don't wait. IRS penalties keep adding up, churning through, and that's on top of what you already owe. You need Tax Network USA. They're the best. They have an edge, a preferred direct line to the IRS. They know which agents to deal with and which to avoid. Their attorneys, strategists, expert negotiators know how to cut through the IRS chaos. Their aggressive, proven strategies help settle your debt fast and in your favor. They've already helped Americans resolve over $1 billion in tax debt, and they can help you too. Your consultation's free. There's no better time to get ahead of this and get your financial independence back. Folks, call Tax Network USA. One call away, 1-800-958-1000. It's a lifeline, 1-800-958-1000. Or if it's at tnusa.com/Levin, TN for Tax Network, tnusa.com/LEVIN. See if we can slip in some calls. People have been waiting. Okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on. Here we go. All right, let's just start from the top here. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, let's go to Dave, Phoenix, Arizona. The great KKNT. Go.
Thank you, Mark. Ultra Mega FEMA Region 9 dittos. What an amazing time to be alive, right?
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Well, I don't know. Thanks be to God for President Donald J. Trump. We got
Amen.
peace in the Middle East, and that now allows us.
What is with our
to
phone
deal-
system, Rich? Everybody's coming in and out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? Okay? No,
Like-
it's okay.
like every
I'm
third
just
word.
glad we have peace. I'm just glad we have peace in the Middle East, so we can focus on CCP, China fentanyl poisoning, which killed 500,000 Americans in the last 4 years.
Oh, you don't think
Truly
the
a-
president's focusing on that either? It was one or the other?
No. He certainly is fighting the 30 front war, and they're all
He
inextricably
definitely
linked.
is. All right, brother. Thanks for your call. Lance, Kalispell, Montana, the great KJJR.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Hey,
evening.
I just want to I'm a simple nail bender, but I just want to make the observation that you're like the kid that shows up in our class with the 128 color crayon box with the built-in sharpener when the rest of us have got like 8 to 16 colors and 3 or 4 of them are already broken. Secondly,
Honest to God, I have no idea what that means, Rich. Do you?
yeah, you bring me information at such a depth and level that
You're so
just-
kind. By the way, I never had that box of crayons. My parents were not. Well, I had what I could get, but thank you for that. You're very kind.
Yes, sir. And then secondly, there's a lot of chatter that you don't hear on news or social media that you only find in mainstream taverns and gatherings on a Friday afternoon, that even some of the people that are, kind of criminal drug dealers, members.
You know what? Can we get this gentleman's number, Rich? I find you, Lance, very, very compelling. So don't hang up. We're going to take your number for tomorrow. We salute our armed forces, police officers, firefighters, emergency personnel, our truckers, the men and women in Ukraine, the men and women in Israel, and God.
The best mattress deals so you can get your best sleep. Only during the 4th of July mattress sale at Raymore Flanagan. Combined sale pricing with interest-free financing for up to
All right, I'm done for now. Thanks for showing up, Wong. And I'm going to take a break. 3 hours, 23 minutes. That's not bad. I'll see everybody later. I'm taking off. I might go to bed early. Been up since early this morning.